What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We're back after our extended break. Hope you miss us. How's it going,
Kept,
gentlemen?
we kept them waiting,
Well,
did we?
Yes, we did.
well, first of all, it's good to be back, Negro Solidus, Beige Riding,
It's
and
called nigga salad. It's not Negro. Nigga salad.
sorry. I see we're going with ignorance these days.
Yeah,
Nigga
And
Solidus.
I didn't really choose my name. I'm half Dutch. My father was a quarter African American. Um, I just feel like this word is like very offensive. Does anybody? Nobody?
No.
Okay, go. All right.
Great.
Oh.
No, great. You're a mutt. Okay. And like in me, I am and I am the I am the side host, Negro Coys Pliskin.
Eris, I got a question.
Yes.
That name is genius, man.
Mm-hmm.
Negro
Cois.
Negro Coach. Pliskin.
Bravo,
Wow,
sir.
we're nerds. We know the Metal Gear world very well. Yeah.
I want folks to paint this picture. It's 2 months after 9/11, November 2001. Metal Gear Solid 2 is announced earlier that year. If you bought Zone of Enders, which only sold a lot because you got the demo of Metal Gear Solid 2, you played through about half the tanker chapter. And it ends with you playing, fighting against Olga Gurlukovich, whatever the fuck her last name is. Gurlukovich. And that was the demo. And it gave people a good idea of the game, and you're hype, right? You get the intro from Henry Gregson Williamson that gave you a preview of
Harry
sorts
Gregson.
of the game. Henry Gregson. Harry Gregson Williams. His magnificent score, probably the second best intro next to Metal Gear Solid 3. Yes, indeed.
See, Harry did a whole bunch of music in Metal Gear. Let's just get that out there. But I don't think this is his best, though.
I think 3 is.
I gotta stop you. I gotta stop you, D. I gotta stop you.
Mm-hmm.
When he was in talks of doing the soundtrack for this game and the overall score for this game, he didn't want that old style. He actually wanted to do something updated. Phone call comes in. Hideo Kojima is on the other line telling him, I want this type of music for Metal Gear Solid 2. Ball tickling is what happened on the other side for Harry, because he was like, yes, this is what I wanted to do.
Yo, he went
it breathed a whole new level of life. Like it went like Metal Gear. Like, don't get it wrong, the music in Metal Gear 1 is classic. It's very classic, but it's this huge step up in just production and sound when Harry becomes a part of the whole thing. So yeah, like he's a big part. I like how the person that does the music is a big part of Metal Gear being the shit.
I feel Hideo watched Enemy of the State and was like, Harry, I need.
No, we talked about this. He was watching The Rock.
Yes,
he was watching The Rock and said that.
Yes.
That, and I want Sean Connery in there somewhere.
Nah. I still say he was watching The Rock for MGS1.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's a
no, that's what I'm saying. But when he was like, yeah, this is going to be better. Hey, who that nigga that did that music, The Rock? Nah, not John Williams. He costs too much.
No, but you got
part 2. I'm with you on this one, Chris. Enemy of the State.
But picture this.
Probably so. I would get, because a lot of music in Enemy of the State sounds just like this movie.
With a quarter of Bad Company.
Yeah. Now here's the thing. This 2 months after 9/11, Metal Gear Solid 2 drops. Obviously, coming out of 9/11, a lot of stuff in media got switched up. We talked at length in our Cowboy Bebop episodes years ago about how they couldn't show one episode because of 9/11.
The Teddy Bomber episode.
The Teddy Bomber episode. And with this game, it was definitely
the Dragon Ball episode. Dragon Ball episode they couldn't fucking show because of that shit.
Gohan filler.
And in this game, because the game came out as is, there were certain imagery in Metal Gear Solid 2 that kind of had layers of 9/11, particularly at the end with Big Shell crashing into the fucking Manhattan financial district and shit.
Federal Hall
and stuff, which, funny enough, I thought it was bullshit back then. Apparently, it's not far off because the distance from the water to Federal Hall is actually pretty fucking close. So,
and I want to throw this out here to a lot of people. Let's put this also out. Hideo and Fukushima had to write this thing probably a whole year and a half before we got to this point. And on top of that, to have it all crash at that point, it came out 2 months after the biggest disaster in American history at that point, yeah. And here's the fun part. Here's the fun part. That's not even the craziest part of the whole goddamn
it really
story.
ain't.
It's the fact that they had to then go back and look at what they did. It's like, oh my god! And they had like 1.5 months. They had to redo a whole bunch of.
No, I got the one. I got the one for you guys. So Hideo had an idea for the tanker part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you how on the nose this shit was, and if he was to do it, it would have been the most disrespectful shit to ever be put into a video game.
Okay.
Get this.
I think I know what you're about to talk about.
Let's hear it, sir. Let's hear it.
Get this. Like Snake and Otacon follow Liquid into Afghanistan. They tracked down a source that led to a brand new Metal Gear in the middle of Afghanistan.
Yep.
Which, funny enough,
remember that.
Which, funny enough,
the craziest part of this story.
Yeah. Keep going. Sorry.
Hijackings were involved. And yes, and of course it is revealed to be Liquid Snake in the game. Oh god. There was supposed to be like explosions. It was like really action packed, and it was going to take place all right there in that spot of Afghanistan. The other part with the with the Arsenal gear, that the original of that was, it was supposed to show Arsenal gear crashing through the bridge, crashing through Lower Manhattan, and slamming into, I think it was either the Empire State or it was supposed to be one of the towers.
God, because here's the thing: the distance
this
from
shit was on the nose
hard. But you gotta understand the distance.
That's not even the crazy part of the
distance.
Story.
But here's the thing: the distance from Manhattan to the Twin Towers is still pretty far. That means the Big Shell kept going and going and going.
Arsenal gear, sir.
Arsenal gear kept going after it crashed at Federal Hall. That's insane.
Now, here's the funny thing. Let's give it the cartoony anime.
It was never supposed to stop at Federal Hall.
That's what I'm saying. But let's give it its anime. Let's give it its anime distance on that one. Yeah, it probably could get that far up into the island of Manhattan. It probably could. It could crush right into it.
No, because granted, you're right. Because in the grand scheme, you can from the water get to the Twin Towers and not necessarily go through the city per se. So you can't go through the water, but just because even the beginning of this game when Snake is on the George Washington Bridge, that's they actually took pictures and video of the George Washington Bridge when they went through the whole B-roll of the game to kind of give because to be fair, I would say this game is probably very realistic in terms of the locations of where they had Snake and them at. Probably more so than any other Metal Gear Solid games. Funny enough, Sue, Pliskin mentioned the whole thing about them going to Afghanistan.
The names.
Yeah, going to Afghanistan, which he ended up using in Metal Gear Solid 5. Ironic enough, because in Metal Gear Solid 5, they go to Afghanistan, and what happens near the end of one of the endings? They find Skullman in the new Metal Gear, Skullface in the new Metal Gear machine that you got to fight in that game and stuff.
Sahelanthropus.
Yeah, which I swear that had to be the most shoehorned in. They were like, all right, we need a mech in this game. Why?
I keep saying it, man. Look, there are a lot of cool things in Metal Gear 5. I don't know who are you young 20-year-old millennials that think this is the greatest game ever. Are you sure? Are
Here's the
you
thing.
really sure?
Gameplay wise, fun. Story wise, confusing.
That's what I'm saying. Like, here's the thing. We're gonna go like when we get to 4. Holy shit, that's 4 in a nutshell right there. Gameplay, love this game. I will fuck it if I could. But here's the thing: did you see the story? Did you hear a minute of this crap? Like
five is where it's like they
five,
freestyle.
five was like a girl that had 2 hands on you, brother. It was a girl that had 2 hands on you, and she's having her way. She's doing whatever you want. Are you all right, Daddy? Yeah, I like this shit. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go down the street for a bag of cigarettes and never come back. That's what happens in Metal Gear 5, man.
This podcast brought to you today by Rumhaven, because you're gonna need this for this fucking episode. Holy shit!
Good lord! Wait a minute. Let me. I had to make an adjustment there. So. All right, so get this shit. These were the plot changes. So according to Kojima in the documentary of Metal Gear Saga Volume 1, which I have both of those DVDs, by the way.
Yeah, I have those too. I have them too.
The original plot of the game revolved around nuclear weapon inspections in Iraq and Iran, and had Solid Snake trying to stop the Metal Gear while it was located in an aircraft carrier in a certain time limit while trying to stop Liquid Snake and his group.
Time out.
Boy, you just
no. Hold on. Kojima, who's your political plant inside the White House at this time, sir?
Nigga. No, you know what, Chris? I was thinking about
this. Hold on. Hey, is Dick Cheney your guy?
Eric, you guys need to understand. Both of y'all need to understand something. Hideo Kojima knows a little bit more about American nationalism than I believe people give him credit for.
No. Is Dick Cheney on speed dial, sir? Is he on speed dial? I need to know this.
He just really loves movies.
What I think is this. I think Americans, to us, we think we're being covert.
Yo, stop.
He is not lying.
He ain't wrong.
He ain't wrong.
Hold on. No. Hold up. I'll take it a step further. Not Death Stranding. It was an MGS5. The language virus.
No.
The language virus, Chris.
You're right, but Death Stranding just hits even more at home. I'm sorry, it just does.
No,
only difference is COVID didn't have fucking spiritual ghosts that try to kill you when you go outside.
All right, look. I understand all that, Chris. But Hideo Kojima has never made a game that blended real life with like whatever little fantasy is. Now let's talk about this game, talking about how our data is being read by some organization and put into places so they can, basically, you know what? How did Hideo plot out what's going on with social
AI.
media?
Wait.
AI.
Hold on. Before we unpack that can of worms, let me just read off the last bit of this.
Please do. Sorry, man.
Jesus, this one is oh God, thank God they made changes. A character named Chinaman.
Hey, yo, let me look, stop, Harris. Just to let y'all know, I have said this before, and I keep on saying this. The Japanese have yet, and will never forgive. What? Not forgive. They will never own up to what they did to the Chinese. So the Chinese are going to always see this from them, even when it's peace.
Chinaman.
Look, they gave they gave Rock Lee awesome ass powers, but they gave him them little eyebrows, man, look goofy as fuck, didn't they?
Chinaman.
Nigga, there's a whole fucking plot in Ghost in the Shell, in the second season of Ghost in the Shell, where it's pretty much Chinese people like, we just trying to live, nigga.
Chinaman, sir. Pliskin. Chinaman.
Boy, the Japanese do not bang with the Chinese. That would have flew in Japan, in America, and everywhere else. They'd be like, yo, cuz.
Chinaman, sir. Chinaman. I can't believe that.
A character named Chinaman, originally planned to be included as a villain, was later omitted and his abilities incorporated into Vamp, namely the ability to walk on water and walls. Chinaman would have movements modeled after Jet Li and have a body tattoo of a dragon that would come alive as soon as he dove into the water.
Okay. I'm gonna say
It's
this.
turning to
Eric.
fucking Shang-Chi
I'm gonna
now
say
and
this.
shit.
Hold on. I'm gonna say this. With all the racist shit, all the racial imagery you just gave right there, Hideo's right this. I'm giving him cool powers.
That's his get out of jail free card. Well, at least he got some dope ass powers.
Hey. Avoid racism. Look at this motherfucker trying to fight Snake real quick.
Hey, look at this half naked chick she got with a rail gun.
Hey, I know she looks 14.
Hey.
I ain't changing that.
She can deflect bullets though, right? Crazy. I know, right?
Hey.
I'm with my man here. As racist as it is, this might have been a fun boss fight.
It would have been dope.
Now here's the thing.
You can put all your racial frustration.
No. I ain't done. I ain't done.
All right, keep going.
One last thing. Mm-hmm. Significant changes to the game's ending were made late in development following the September 11th attacks in New York, where the finale occurs. A sequence depicting Arsenal Gear's placement of the Statue of Liberty and crashing through half of Manhattan was removed, as was a short coda to appear after the credits. A breaking newscast showing the Statue of Liberty's new resting place, Ellis Island. At that point, where Solidus dies, Raiden was supposed to have cut the rope on Federal Hall's flagpole, causing an American flag to fall over Solidus's body. And American flags were supposed to be on all the flagpoles in New York were removed from the title. The Japanese spelling of the name Raiden was changed from katakana to kanji due to the former form of the name setting resembling Bin Laden in Japanese.
Are you fucking serious about that last part, bro? I ain't never heard of that. Are you serious?
Can we say for the record that this game dodged? Holy shit. Bullet time, I believe, was invented quietly from Hideo Kojima.
You want to know the truth though, Eris? We weren't ready for that.
We weren't ready for it.
Whatever just imagine he had for that, we weren't ready.
But I would really like to. No, I really would love to believe that somewhere, Universe 9, Earth 473, this game exists.
Oh yeah,
and this version of MGS2 exists,
and it came straight out.
So here's the thing. The big thing about this game was when it dropped. Obviously, if you were around during that time, the message boards and all that stuff, a lot of us, we were all big into what was the big gaming sites, what they were going to give the review of this game and stuff, right? And, it got a lot of big buzz, a lot of good reviews and stuff. But, as much as they tried, a lot of the reviewers spoiled one aspect of the game. And the one aspect of the game that a lot of us realized, and it caused a lot of controversy at that time, and it really thinking back on it.
Not for me.
Yeah.
Away from all of them.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was controversy at the time, but thinking back on it, it was stupid ass controversy that shouldn't happen, but that was par for the course at the time. It was the reveal that after the tanker chapter and you get to the big shell, you switch over to Raiden. And it threw a lot of people off. It threw a lot of people off. And a lot of people felt as though they were shammed because, again, you're paying $39.99 for a game, and they felt that they were cheated out of playing a full game as Snake. But I didn't even back then. I didn't understand it because I'm like, well, it's a plot. It makes sense that they did this because it's going into the plot of the game, especially when you play the game multiple times, because you start realizing. Because I think this is one of those games that, at least back then, when you play it multiple times, because this game, a lot of the Metal Gear Solid games have a lot of replayability. They all do because the gameplay keeps you coming back. And also, even though you might skip cutscenes, there are some times where you might want to watch the cutscenes because you might miss something.
Exactly.
There is one thing to add about this. See, after years and years of playing Metal Gear games and where you only play the Snake, everybody else's characters that Snake has interacted with but never controlled.
Yeah.
For us to just play a brand new game, that's the other thing. This was a brand new Metal Gear Solid game on the PS2. We're playing Snake on brand new hardware, only for the first barely hour of the
45
game.
minutes.
45 minutes.
I will give it the full hour.
No,
but no, it's not. It's about 30 minutes. It's actually about more closer to 30 minutes.
Like, no, I say full hour if you try to do everything.
Yeah.
But
it's actually Eris is actually longer. To do the Taker part is so rewarding with all the little secrets in it, man. It's so fun. That's all I gotta say. It's all I gotta say. I spent about 2 hours in the Taker. It's fun.
Not for, I mean, of course, for speed runners, this is a good 15 minutes.
15 minutes, yes.
Sir, speed run is 12 minutes.
Really? That's the record for that?
I believe it is.
Skip all the cutscenes, loading skips, all that sort of stuff. You can do it.
Goes pretty quick.
12 minutes. But anyway, with all of that thrown in, right after the tanker story ends, you're like, "Holy crap! This is awesome!" Like where are we going with this? The last we see is Snake getting washed away in the in the freaking river. Like, what's about to happen here?
Man,
and then we.
Teenage serious.
And then we hear Colonel Campbell, Snake. Do you remember the incident of the big shell? You remember the incident of the tanker? Of course. I'm sorry, who are you?
Next thing you know, Eris, you see a different dude swimming, but is that hair?
Blonde hair? Is that supposed to be liquid? a clone of liquid? Young clone liquid?
Colonel, I'm inside the big shell facility. What's going on?
My man said we're giving you a code name. You will be called Raiden.
Raiden? By the way, hi Japanese writer. That was a long road to that deep cut, by the way, with the name of Raiden. That's wow. What?
Well,
what World War II vet is going to be playing this video going, that's clever.
Just like we got that deep cut on the Patriots and Rat Patrol in 4.
Okay. D actually like that one.
That was a good one.
Like that one because you put.
I rolled my eyes so fucking hard. It should have been behind my fucking damn head. I was like,
I saw him do that. Here's me.
Wow.
That's a little bit dope.
That's shit.
Yes. That right there triggered Chris. The moment Drebin just pulled out the handkerchief.
Harris.
Only thing missing was what the twist.
Harris, you over there laughing. You saw how they spell Patriots. I know your DJ name.
Yeah, it's Lead Speak. I'm like, I spelled my name with Lead Speak. Did it come from Metal Gear? No.
Here's the funny thing.
Oh. I was really ready for you. He's like, did it come from Metal Gear? You can't prove a goddamn thing.
It did not come from Metal Gear.
Here's the thing.
I took my Lead Speed happily from Deadmau5.
Think of it is.
That's cool, man.
You could play a drinking game on the amount of times because this is the game where they go full tilt in just unveiling the Patriots and what they did with the fucking big shell and the tanker chapter and shit. And I'm like, so the Patriots behind this. Because when we end up finding out in this game, we're going to be all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots are the reason that Solidus was inducted as president of the United States.
By the way, I looked it up. He had to be the youngest president in United States history.
43rd United States president.
And also, if you're going to go by his date, is on how old he was. Him age 35 years old.
Well, I mean, he looked about 46, so you know how white people age.
I don't know. He was full white hair, nigga. In his first year of presidency, nigga already looked like he was on year 8.
Now, here's the thing. To be fair, what we know
wars. Remember, he fought in wars.
No. But what we know of the Las Infants Terribles project and stuff, out of all 3 of the clones of Big Boss, Solidus is the only one that had way more enhanced aging compared to Solid and Liquid.
Yeah, he was the perfect clone.
Yeah, he was the
And
perfect clone of Big Boss, which makes sense because when you see Big Boss in 4 and then you see Solidus in this game, it makes sense. A lot of the things about how they both are the spitting image, the full beard and all that shit, and just everything. It makes perfect sense.
And let's take it to the next step when it comes to the Lale Lule Lo and all the way they march. They probably saw that, oh, this is the clone of Big Boss. Wow, he could be a good figure for the president of the United States, this war hero, and all the rest of that. Well, only 34 years old. You're 70, you're 54 right now. Okay. We're the Patriots. We just made up your whole backstory. We just got people that know you going, hey man, we're best friends because we're the Patriots. And if anybody don't know who the Patriots are, it's the CIA. It's the CIA that turned into a homunculus, that turned into
now here's the ironic part
that turned into the Patriots. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I'm sorry, real quick. Think the Patriots are pretty much. Think of all of the money you think the Illuminati has, they have.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is.
Go ahead, Negro Quas.
Pliskin.
The idea of what the Patriots really are, especially after playing all the Metal Gear games leading up to it. The Patriots are a program. Now, originally, the Patriots were actual human beings.
Yeah, kind of like like a circle of people
going across, like spanning across members of the United States, Europe, Russia, and China.
Yeah, like a UN coalition,
something like that.
Yeah.
And when you really break the whole thing down, the last surviving members, the last surviving adults of the Wiseman's Committee, because that's what they were called, after they spent all that time infighting over the large amount of wealth that they were able to get from the last Great War, they died off, leaving behind their legacy, right? Now, fast forward to 1964, one surviving member was left. And, that person, of course, met their end at the hand of one Jack, aka Naked Snake.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the end of MGS3. And the Philosopher's Legacy found its way back into America's hands. Now that America has it, it was given to a certain individual within Snake's unit by one Adamska, aka Revolver Ocelot. This person in particular, who the person of interest who got their hands on that legacy, was a Brit named Major Zero.
Yeah, Zero and Big Bosses, their relationship was very tumultuous, to say the least. They started on the same page, and then it just.
But this is where I'm thinking about how the Patriots became what they were. See, first of all, by taking the legacy and adapting a series of artificial intelligent programs. Zero.
I don't think it got to that point into the 80s, but let's
no. I'm getting there. Like, he probably spent all that time and resource, because dude had an infinite amount of resource having the Philosopher's Legacy. You built a network, right, that controlled everything.
And let's not forget that the wealth that wealth all was connected to all these wars that the United States started between the end of that and to whatever point you're talking. There had to be over 100 conflicts. Money. Yeah. There's nothing but money, bro.
It was a constant flow of money. Now think about this. The whole idea of the whole idea of how these two, Big Boss and Major Zero, went about the idea of what the boss, what her legacy and what her view of the world really meant, and how they tried to carry on that legacy. They were going in two different roads. See, Big Boss wanted to establish a nation of free citizens that didn't answer to any law or government. You know, at the same time,
he was a libertarian, y'all.
At the you know, at the same,
but he had good intentions.
At the same time, he wanted, he wanted soldiers that were always there at the ready for like any, for any conflict. Zero, on the other hand, wanted to control everything, thinking that that's what the boss really wanted, when that couldn't have been any further from the truth. Hell, both of them were actually wrong. At the end of it, the boss merely all she wanted was just the world to be left the way it was.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, I mean,
and also she said straight up, like, life is a circle. How long you think Russia and America are going to be for enemies? And how long do you think that once friends are going to end up turning enemies?
Yeah. It's like, do you really think that? No, she said it best. Now,
consider, bro, let it go.
She said it best. Considering that Russia and the United States would be enemies in the 21st century, somehow I doubt it.
Now, here's the thing. Going back to
the face you made.
Putin over there like this. That bitch is wrong.
look. Going back to Solidus, though, we found out that
safe with America. Fuck America.
But I mean, real quick. One last thing. This, now with the Patriots being that whole AI program, this is what happens. This is what happens when a badly burnt, skull-faced man decides to come up with a weapon. Not just any weapon, but an ungodly weapon that had no business existing in 1984, attacking people and rendering them into complete invalids. A language virus.
Yeah.
It's the vocal cord strain virus that attacked Major Zero when he visited Snake in a hospital when he was in a coma.
Mm-hmm. That was God. That was God, though.
Nigga, that was God's plan. Okay.
Because and much like we said in the first review, we're always gonna go back to these points, but this is one point that we're
now hold on. Now when this happened, Zero, going by Cypher at that time, was in the middle of establishing something that I don't think he intended it to get to where it is right now. Because I do think at this point, maybe in a couple of years, his AI program would become sentient, take on a life of their own, and create the war economy, which caused everything to go completely off the rails, where the only thing that mattered to them was just war and keeping wars going.
And basically,
I disagree with only one thing, Eris.
And what's that?
I don't think that any of that came online until after Shadow Moses. Because the reason why, because a lot of human error happened at fucking Shadow Moses.
No. Not
only the Patriots couldn't predict, but also by their own Patriots' hand, they kind of fucked up.
But I think that's
after that.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I think it's known fact that after Metal Gear Solid 1, that's when everything kicked off. Because think about it, that's was not true. Again.
But hold on.
Hold on.
Go.
But that's why that when you get in 2. You get that whole fucking you get Ocelot playing up the fact that Liquid's fucking hand that he attached to his arm took over and stuff. To really fuck with the Patriots' head. And that's really what fucked the Patriots and had them like, they had the AI. To be honest, it's a sick fucking plan from fucking Ocelot, by the way, for that shit. But hey, how else you gonna fucking damn confuse the AI? All right,
like the easiest way.
Only way you can do that is if you knew what was going to happen later on. That's
it's not even that difficult, really, Chris. All Ocelot really did was he just took controller 1 and put it into controller 2 in real life.
No, that's what I'm saying. He literally sat there and was like, all right, this AI is sentient. I'm about to fuck their world up. I want to fake that Liquid is taking over my body, and that's gonna fuck their world up. It's genius. It's stupid when you think about it, but when you think back, it's like this motherfucker was spit.
An injection. This man injected himself with nanomachines and hypnotherapy.
And then on top of that, now I did look up George Sears and see what he was doing in his life and all that. One of the things that is noted is that the Genome Project started during the Gulf War, and a lot of soldiers got injected with pretty much low-grade nanomachines that kind of controlled a lot of things. So the Patriots have been doing this.
Yeah,
for
remember when
years.
remember when the Gulf War syndrome happened? That was a side effect of the nanomachines.
So the Patriots have been
Look, me and Aaron saw Mission Impossible. It's about right.
Yeah,
it's about right.
That's quite apt.
Yeah.
I'm laughing because it's like, what are you talking about? Tom Cruise is already a part of the Patriots in real life. I don't think he can do that.
Nah, Tom Cruise is a Dempska.
About to find out.
Who's that?
He's a Dempska.
About to find Ving Rhames all of a sudden punches himself in the head, and now all of a sudden he went through hypnotherapy and was like, I am no longer Ving Rhames. he's like another character.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. When you say hypnotherapy, I just thought, what's wrong with you? I had hypnotherapy, so I lose my interest in men. You can't say hypnotherapy around me. Also, I'm a good fan. Look, hey, Chris, are you a fan of the New England Lolly-Luleo? I am too.
Hey, D.
Yes.
Did you know that because of the Patriots' actions throughout this game and future games, that Zero at this point is a complete invalid, can't do anything, stuck.
My nigga is Stephen Hawking. Like,
I think the last
wait. Imagine, if you will, you have the off button right in front of you, and you're powerless to even touch it. You can't turn off the Patriots.
I got a question.
Because of Skullface's shenanigans and bullshit.
Skullface is fucking 8 feet underground at this is dead, and now he got the last laugh.
He got the last laugh. He got the last laugh on Zero, and he can't do anything. My man had
I got a question.
In case of emergency, break open glass and turn off all the Patriots. You could save all the world's problems by just turning it off, and he couldn't do it. He can't. This shit went on for decades, and he was powerless to turn it off. My nigga Voyavoda is rolling in her grave in sadness at what is taking place on her beautiful planet Earth.
The
last person of the Patriots took a bullet in the forehead thanks to Snake.
How would
the only other person that could have stopped all this was her, and she had to be taken out.
Think about Eris. Years of somebody rolling Zero's ass to another Patriot meeting. Hey, yo, so we're gonna go forward with this plan, right, bitch? Zero. All right, man. Let's keep going, yo.
D raw noise. Beep, 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 beep.
No, Eric said he's Eric said he's totally invalid, so he's just stuck like this.
He can't move.
No,
he doesn't move.
No, he's not moving. I'm just saying he's doing the beeping sound that he has to literally like barely move in order for it to beep or something to show a yes or no.
Sir. He is not. He is not Hector Salamanca.
No, sir. No. He's not doing that. No. He's Jericho from fucking Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, where he's all like, and that's how he answers.
That nigga just move.
That's a deep cut for the Johnny Quest fans.
That is a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
I swear to God, I want
New Adventures of Johnny Quest. Not that great, but insanely underrated.
I swear to God, I remember watching the Real Adventures of Johnny Quest, and I'm like, that's the bad guy, a handy-capable person. I mean, look, I'm all for progressive stuff.
Hey, man, he had them niggas in the chokehold. What the fuck you talking about, man?
Questworld, sir. Fucking Questworld, nigga.
Much was scared, yo.
Listen, had him in a chokehold, much like the Patriots.
Look. But anyways,
hey, Zero, man. So check this shit out, man. So we just gonna keep going giving Osama bin Laden these weapons of mass destruction while he fights the Russians. I think that's a yes. I think that's a
no,
yes
guys.
Hey. So we're gonna have the NSA like listen to all these people's calls. That's cool too, right? Got to get the information. I understand that, sir. Thank you so much. That's what we got to do. All right, Mr. Zero. As you see, look behind us. This is the big ass giant computer. Now you told us back in 1977 never hit the off button, but this new CD we about putting this shit is gonna be the bomb. So you still for it, right? Let's go ahead.
First off, you're an asshole for saying look behind you as though this motherfucker could turn his head.
And that's exactly what I did.
Second of all, D, I would really like for you to please understand that nobody knew that this was a motherfucker in charge of the Patriots.
Oh yeah.
But bear in mind.
So let me tell you something. No. I got it. Let me pay.
And think about this. Anyone else who didn't know were killed between like they were killed between the events of Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 1.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Everybody that could have known who Zero was, they don't know who he is no more. So by the time the end of Shadow Moses is going on, at that point, they didn't know it. They pretty much had a low-grade AI telling what to do, and everybody's
the only person that really knew was Big Boss, and Big Boss was underground at this point. He's like chilling.
And also, shout out to the IT department, just going with the idea of the computer telling, hey, young, I did the computer itself like, hey, I need an upgrade. Hey, the computer needs an upgrade.
But going back to this,
I like how in only Metal Gear computers in the 1980s gained sentience by 1988. I love it.
But going back to Raiden though, we find out that much like Big Boss was to Naked Snake, Solidus was a mentor to Jack, aka Raiden. He was one of many child soldiers that Solidus had under his belt, and he took a liking to Jack and trained him up as like the best soldier and stuff in a way. So they kind of had a very Big Boss Naked Snake relationship of sorts. He was the one that taught Jack about using swords instead of guns, all that stuff, which
he fed him the good gun. He fed him the good gunpowder, not the shitty gunpowder.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. Which
look, gave him his gave him his first victory hooker at age 11.
It's crazy. What's up, Pleasant? What's up?
Hey,
he was what? On the surface, yes, it's Big Boss and Snake, but it goes a little deeper.
Oh, I know it goes deeper.
No.
Yeah, because first off,
I need you to understand. No, I want you guys to understand. See, it's not just Snake and Big. It's not just Big Boss and Snake. You want to know what it really is?
He didn't touch the kid. I hope you know.
No. Stop. I'm going somewhere with this. It's really Gray Fox and Naomi. Think about it.
But they're brother and sister though.
No. Think about it. When he reveals, Jack, I was the one that killed your parents.
I want to say this.
Also, hold on. I like how he did this. It was like, Jack, did you even know them niggas?
Hold on. Can I explain, please?
I want people to understand that's Jack's face throughout the fucking Big Shield chapter. At every fucking turn, it's always some shit. Fat man on skates. The whole time.
The reason why I said that is because it's the same thing from Shadow Moses. Gray Fox tells Snake, I killed Naomi's parents and took her in as my sister and raised her, blah, 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 did all that stuff. Same thing. Solidus killed Raiden's parents It took him in, except but on a more expanded level of I'm gonna train you up. I'm gonna have you be just like just like Solid Snake, blah 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 blah. I'm gonna teach you everything that I know.
Also, Solidus is really racist, and he did not want the best child soldier to be a black kid, so he was like, "Fuck that, let me get the one."
I know, which happens to be a black, which happens to be a black king named like Umbuku.
Now you know what's crazy.
I'm sorry, Eris. That black kid named Umbuku would later on become a very dapper black man named Drebin.
He would.
Yeah.
He absolutely
would. Here's the funny thing: Drebin's backstory being a child soldier. I believe every second of that shit, but that's because Corey Payton's a good ass actor. So
and he's an accomplished and he's a very accomplished storyteller.
You like this? I didn't know my mom and daddy, but I know who taught me how to shoot. This is real right here. This is real right here.
Here's what we found out in 2. We found out that in Metal Gear Solid 2, also, besides Solidus, because at the end, we've at the end of Metal Gear Solid 1, Ocelot said Mr. President, and we find out Solidus is president. What we also end up finding out is that George Sears actually acted against the Patriots' orders, and he actually is the one that started the Shadow Moses incident, which is what the Patriots never wanted in the first fucking place.
Of course not.
Yeah.
So it kind of so Solidus is trying to clean up that fucking mess, on top of everything that's happened with Big Shell and Dead Cell, because the Patriots are the reason why Dead Cell is a thing too. So it's a lot of moving pieces.
But did you notice what I said? Like I said last time, human error is the reason why the Patriots stepped itself up as a program and all that shit, because all of that shit, all of that was an unpredictable mess. They didn't know that the person they put in there was going to double cross them and all that shit. So all of that, that had to be. I feel bad for that Mac computer, man. I really do.
Let's think it said Mac computer.
It's a Linux computer. We already know it's Linux. But the point is, I feel bad for this shit.
No, fam. It's 24. Listen, it's 2009. That's an IBM.
Yeah.
I would love the idea of the Patriot system being a whole room and then later on being 2 fucking server towers.
No, look. And here's the crazy part too. The Patriots, being the devious AI that they are, they alter Jack's memories of him not remembering that Solidus was his mentor. So they have
this is the computer system telling human beings like it's orders from the high ups, when it's really just a computer computing.
Like Solidus has to literally tell Jack,
computing.
Computers computing. Thank you. I didn't know I did that.
Solidus literally looked right into his. Solidus looked right in his face like, "Hey, Jack, I trained you. Why the fuck you trying to kill me? Like, who the one that sent you? Oh shit, the Patriots sent you. Fuck. Damn.
It was the Patriots that sent you to kill me. The one person that I trained. They used my own move against me. No shit, Solidus, because it's the same thing that happened in Shadow Moses. Did you not get the memo? Did you not get the dossier from Ocelot?
I mean, look,
Speaking of dossiers, the one running gag.
Did you not read Natasha's book? Did you not read Natasha's book?
Into the Darkness of Shadow Moses. It was a bestseller.
Everything in that book was debriefed, so you knew what happened.
One of the best lines in this game came from that. I read you in the book, Into the Darkness of Shadow Moses. Your boy Campbell got Henri. I don't give a damn what that book said, that trans said about me. Do you get me? I'm like, I love how the computer had it programmed that I don't care what that rag had to say about me.
I like how. Wait.
Hold on, D. Because it's Natasha. I would like to imagine that that they would give AI Roy Campbell the line of saying, I don't give a damn what that iron rag had to say.
I don't care what that Soviet tramp had to say about me. Oh, we talked about this on other episodes. Roy Campbell is secretly racist, just all the way xenophobic. It's the Army. The Army did that to him, y'all. All right. not his upbringing in the army. All right.
I would like to imagine that Hideo Kojima's interpretation of a freaking Colonel Troutman isn't racist, but you make very compelling arguments.
It's like look. And also, the one thing I noticed is that we keep on talking about Hideo knows American nationalism, all the rest of that. I think because we're Americans, we don't see how it's displayed to everybody else. I would like to think smart people is like, yeah. So the CIA is behind that. We ain't stupid. Yeah, the CIA is behind that, America. Why are you saying this is secret ops? The CIA is behind this shit. Like, I think everybody knows. Like, you know how we look at the Russians and we automatically link the Kremlin's behind this shit. They do the same thing with us. So I think a lot of the stuff that we give Hideo credit for is something that a lot of people just kind of, if you are kind of woke in that, I hate using the term woke because of white people fucking taking our shit. But if you are, but still for real. But if you are
associating anything different with the word woke. If Snake think about it. If Snake was black, they would call him woke.
I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna
These
stop
fucking
right here.
bananas are woke.
Hey, look, maybe because I'm feeling some way, fuck it. Geeks and gamers are fucking infamous for fucking saying woke. And I fucking hate
I'm tired of y'all niggas.
I hate them motherfuckers. I hate them because it's like, look, I'm gonna chop the fly on this shit. I hate the fact, much like with Metal Gear Solid 3, this game, that you got people that don't believe the same bullshit that they spew and they make money off of it.
Shout outs to Yellow Flash too.
How are you as a fucking content creator spewing all this hateful shit? And I've seen you have conversations offline and you don't believe none of the bullshit that you do. If you're a person that comments on this shit, you should be pissed off at them. Not me as a black person. You should be pissed off at your white motherfuckers over there. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying. Like, yo, you mad at me as a black person, but the white guy over there that's using you for money, you ain't mad at him. I'm just saying, like, this, like, come on, man. Like, that. Like, I'm just saying, like, I feel some way about that a little bit. Just a little bit. Like,
hey, CJ. I can sum it up perfectly for them. Hashtag stay over there.
It really is. Like,
keep your monkey asses.
Because here's the thing about too. Saldus is really like the guy that's like, yo, I'm trying to expose the Patriots. The Patriots like, hey, nah, nigga, we're gonna send your son to kill you. Fuck that shit. You're not expected to expose.
And it's gonna be the smoothest shit ever.
I like
how more smooth than Hennessy, my nigga.
Hold on, and check this shit out. I like how the Patriots plan for this nigga to resign from office and then have a brain hemorrhage and die. That was the plan. The plan was for that nigga to go home and
yo, hey, technically he did. Hey, technically he had a brain hemorrhage after fucking Raiden sliced his ass in the fucking chest and stuff. He's like,
sir,
that was in the back. That was in the back.
Sir. What happened was he hit that solid ground and went into a permanent coma for the rest of his life until his surrogate ass mother started taking his liver, his freaking arms, and all that.
I'm
just
sorry,
his
baby.
Dead ass daddy back to life.
I'm sorry, baby, but your daddy need this liver. Go ahead and take this.
You look just like your daddy.
Somebody give me the knife. Somebody give me the knife. We need to take his foot.
Well.
Big Mama, your arm.
Which by the way, that is exactly what they ended up doing with Saldus after he died.
Oh, they sliced and diced that.
They didn't just cut up him. They used parts of him and Liquid to put a Big Boss back together. Because remember, you gotta remember, Operation Introed. Snake lit his ass up with that aerosol cannon lighter.
Yep.
Yeah.
My man's was done. He was as dead as fried chicken, okay?
Hey, look, let's back up for a second because we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Can we talk about Dead Cell for a minute? Can I talk about how I've left my look, Fortune, par for the course, kind of like Sniper Wolf. She's a scantily clad chick, got a big ass rail gun. She's black.
Who's that white lady?
I know
Who's that white lady?
Who is this?
Look,
who's
no,
this
look,
very?
y'all.
Hold on, who is this very early interpretation of what Beyonce would look like at a Super Bowl?
And yeah, why is
Don't be
Michelle
giving Beyonce ideas. 'Cause I swear to God, she pops up as Fortune. I'm gonna really be flipping tables at this point.
Look, she won't do that. Now, Kelly Rowland's little ass, she'll do that shit. Come on now, man.
I swear to God, we find out Kelly Rowland loves Metal Gear and starts really getting deep into the plot and be like, God damn
bullshit, yeah. I like Kelly, but Kelly looks like a girl. Go, okay, so how I play this? That's what she looks like to me. All right.
What the L2? What the L2 button do again?
Oh my god! Hold on. No, I'm trying to do it. Stop. Why are you trying to be cute, bitch? We're playing 2K. What are you doing?
But nah, I played.
You messed my whole game up. You messing my whole game up.
You know what? I played the artist. It's like, how do you have Fortune? She's dark skinned, beautiful black woman in PS2 graphics.
Play queen.
Black woman.
Play queen.
Yeah. And yet the art for her is a light skinned, maybe Jamie Presley looking fucking chick in the artwork. It's weird.
I think
it's very weird.
You, Chris. The Japanese don't know how to animate us. I keep telling you this.
You mean 2001 animators didn't know how to animate us?
True.
They've gotten better now.
True.
They got better now.
True. But here's the sick part. You want to know the sick part? This artwork is still fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's fire.
It is still fucking 5 stars, nigga. You know what I mean?
I mean, the artwork.
The art director of this joint was saying the art director is the first one. Perfect.
It's still the same artist. Was it Yoji Shinkawa?
Yeah, Shinkawa. That's what it was. Thank you.
So you got Fortune, who has a big railgun, and her powers is that she can deflect bullets. She has good luck. You know, basically, she's what's her face? Domino, essentially.
Yeah.
She's basically Domino. She's essentially Domino, and we find out that she has a device that actually deflects bullets, so she ain't fucking.
Which was revealed by Ocelot.
Which, funny enough, the game plays up at one point when she's fighting the fucking Rays that she truly can do it, but I'm just gonna chalk it up as just luck at that point.
You know what? Metal Gear there's a lot of moments in Metal Gear where it's like, okay, let the supernatural.
No.
Oh, also her heart is on the right side, not the left side. So there's
CJ.
Was there importance of that?
CJ. When she deflected those rockets after her device was destroyed, nigga, the guidance system was off.
Nigga, hey, first off, she was lucky that the Patriots just activated the fucking Rays. Like, hey, they're not ready. Fuck it, don't matter. Activate them shits. It's like that's essentially the Patriots. They're like, just activate them. It don't matter. We got hundreds of them. If you play on extreme,
her whole. I love the extreme mode. I love that note. I love
35 plus minutes of a freaking boss fight.
Let me tell you something. That is the most coffee break boss battle ever. All you got to do is just dodge. I
will be honest
with
you.
Dodge.
I would be honest with you. If they like every Metal Gear has one part of the game you don't like. That was mine. I did not like this part.
I think it's a coin toss.
Like this part.
I really think
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's really
I'm fine with this part. I already know what the worst part was.
It's really a coin toss. It's a coin toss between either that or fighting Solidus on a Harrier jet.
Can I point out the fact that I would say the idea of being on Big Shell and you have 100 Metal Gear Rays surrounding you, that's scary as shit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, come on, like think about it. That's like a Metal Gear being parked outside your house, but it's 100 of them, and you gotta destroy all of them. That's scary as shit. I'm sorry, like it just is. The imagery of it throws me off because especially when you get to that part of the game, the imagery of it, and I always give Kojima and his team credit. They always got the power of the PlayStation, no matter what iteration, whether it's Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that. They always push the power of the PlayStation. And that whole stage of you're on Big Shell and you see in the background all the Metal Gear Rays just lined up surrounding. And even though it's 3 at a time, because that's the most that you can push out the power of the PlayStation 2 at that time, it's still a fucking dope imagery seeing it.
It really
To
is.
me, at
And
least.
the one thing I always gave it was, now you see how the floor was, you see like all the little different
Mhm.
graphics and they be saying different stuff. The one thing I love was when you saw the raised part, you saw that same type of graphics, the same computer graphics, like everywhere. And it didn't slow down the PlayStation and all the rest of the shit, man. It was like it really brought out every bit of the power of that PlayStation 2 in this game, man. And you could really see it. The one thing also, since we're talking about the Rays are awesome. I love the Metal Gear Rays. Let's keep it a full buck.
I mean, the Rex was one thing, but the Rays were definitely the aquatic version of the Rex, essentially.
Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah,
Though. Love the Rays.
basically it's a Metal Gear that can swim.
Yeah, I love them. They job. They job.
Well, we
so
found we found out.
hard.
Well, according to game lore, they weren't really the real Rexes. It's just a bunch of fucking fakes,
Well,
essentially.
the real,
So,
yeah, the dummies, the real
Yeah, the
The
Rays.
dummy Rays. These are dummy Rays.
they're dummy Rays, essentially. According
The
to
only
lore.
real one was the one made for the Marines,
Mm-hmm.
which Ocelot
Okay.
commandeered.
Sorry,
Okay, then,
sorry.
I guess.
Yeah, Ocelot. Yeah, I don't know why I'm about to say Liquid. I was like, no, Ocelot. Liquid didn't do shit. He's dead. So,
Steal? No. I'm taking it back.
my man came
You
out
threw that
there.
whole- You threw that whole thing. All right, let's do that. Now you're on the tanker. You sneak on the, you sneak on the tanker. You notice that. Wait a minute, there are Russian choppers here, and they're Russians that take over the tanker. Oh shit! It's a whole different game.
K60 Kasaka.
Now that being said, hey Snake. Ain't no way in the world you can tell what chopper that is in a rainstorm. But you know what? It's all good. You're Jesus. I love you. So so they know that the Metal Gear is all there. So he goes down, he goes under, goes into the tanker, try to find it. And after you have a little short gun battle, you finally go into where all the Marines are at, listen to the commandant give a speech. He goes in there and you see one other Russian soldier panic. Oh shit. He closes the door beside Snake. He turns around and he sees Ocelot. He's like, oh, Shalashashka, you're here. Ain't you supposed to be with the colonel? He takes out a gun, shoots him in the head. You're like, oh shit. And of course, you're playing the game for the first time. You're like, oh God, all right. So Ocelot's here. The one thing you also know if you played the game, he closes the door with his hand that was cut off in the first game. So you're like, oh shit, the nigga got his hand back.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, you go into where the speech is given, where he's giving the speech at, and you got to cross two places where the soldiers are watching the speech.
It's a tense moment. It's a very tense moment because I want people.
The stupid one is the second row because that's the one where they turn to the left and then they turn to the right. It is so dumb. Why would they do that?
Okay. But back up for a second before we keep going. So we gotta talk about the gameplay real quick. So this was definitely an elevated version of what we were getting from Metal Gear Solid 1. Because when you go back to Metal Gear,
I want to be honest with you, it's mega.
It's mega elevated because you could do so much stuff. First person view, you have a trank gun, you destroyable environments in certain areas.
Oh yeah, that's the part that I like the most. You can
hang off the side of things in order you were giving options in order to really go into tactical espionage action. Like they gave you so many options to sneak through things.
There was different ways of patting bammers down and all the rest of that too, man.
You can hold them up to get their dog tags, which that's a thing that if you collect enough dog tags, you can get the stealth camouflage and the bandana. So it really kind of it forced you.
I never did that though. I never did that though.
Yeah, depending on what the difficulty was, because if you were on easy, then you only had to collect X amount in the tanker level, and then as you went up in difficulty, there were more soldiers to hold up, and then go from there and stuff. So it was like they did so many new stuff that carried over into 3 and carried over into 4 and carried over into 5 and stuff. You could really see the progression of it and stuff. But the game changer was definitely the trank gun.
And real talk, this is probably what you saw was the I would say the building blocks of what ended up becoming the Fox engine. You saw it started, especially it began in this game. You can tell.
Yeah.
And but the one thing that gets me is that you gotta take pictures of it, yada yada yada. I'm not even gonna bore you with that. Anyway, speech is off. All the Marines salute. Next thing you know, Yes. Good speech.
The black man looking at him like, the fuck
Gift of the silver. I just one of the best lines ever. Gift of the silver tongue. End of a liar.
No, D, I got you. Like, gift of the silver tongue. They say it's the mark of an officer. End of a liar. America's too in love with the sound of its own voice to speak the truth.
Oh, we find out that the general of the army is Fort's dad.
D, who is at the height of him respecting the military at this point. Let this nigga spit. Hold on, let this nigga spit, yeah.
Like, identify yourself. I am Shalashaska, also called Revolver. Say it with me.
Ocelot. And I love that because you just hear this Ocelot. I'm like, yes. And shout out to all these Marines pointing a gun at Ocelot, not seeing this tubby ass Russian pull up right behind the commandant. Yo, how did he let the Russians get the drop on them like that? Come on, bro.
Look.
Well, it's Russian goons being trained by Ocelot.
Look, I think it was even more funny about the fact that Ocelot the whole time didn't know Snake was there until Snake was like, liquid, because, Ocelot pulled the, I'm being controlled, and then all of a sudden, Liquid is like, brother, and all that shit, and it's hilarious. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm glad they used that as an excuse to get Cam Clark back.
I mean, you had to find a reason and stuff, which, again, thinking back after playing 4, it's like, this was the most long game having shit I have ever seen in my life. My nigga committed to the bit. He committed to it.
You gotta hold on, Chris. You gotta remember. If there was anybody that Ocelot respected and looked up to more, was Big Boss.
I know, but man, that is a commitment.
Bro, in the world of Jay-Z versus Dame Dash, Ocelot was Cam, all right? He sided with Dame until the end.
Man, this nigga Ocelot
stole Kanye from Game.
He loved Big Boss so bad. I want his boy inside of me. Give me his arm.
Here's the crazy part. Like, when you play 5, you don't see it. You just see a guy that admires him. So for him to have this bromance level of, like, admonishment for fucking Big Boss, it's kind of wild in a way. It's like, really?
And
like,
that's why we got the third game, Chris, so we could see I like you. You're cool.
You showed me how to shoot a revolver instead of this bullshit pistol. It's crazy.
I did hear somebody's theory.
Have 6 shots.
I do like this person's theory that Revolver Ocelot
shots.
The Revolver Ocelot he knew that he wanted some way to talk to Big Boss, so that's what he did. He had a gun that he couldn't shoot or some bullshit like that. It was weird. Hold on though. We have to celebrate this because pawning off a joke that Eric said in the first game. Ocelot's no longer doing foot jobs. He has 2 hands now, so he can actually go 2 hands on the shit now. It's a stranger because one is a new hand and the other one is
a new hand.
It's a stranger.
I quit. Can I ask you guys a question?
A stranger though. You said the stranger part.
It is a stranger because it's Liquid's arm.
It is Liquid's arm. It's like, that's a stranger. It's a stranger.
Hey. You be at home looking at TV. All of a sudden, you feel your left hand touch you.
Who? Best part. Hey, Chris. Hey, Solidus. You want to know the best part?
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to sit on it to get numb. The hand's already. The hand is already. It's already not his.
Oh, hey, yo, Pliskin. You know what he's like looking at his arm and he go like, here's him. Where were you at when I wanted this?
Oh God.
His hand is in Burlington Coat Factory and 4, like, get this coat.
Why does your hand speak with a British accent?
It's a long story. I want the one over there. I want the one that makes it look more dashing and more daring. No, I want the one that looks more dashing and daring. Don't you see it? Don't you see it, Ocelot? You can't go nowhere in this. We can't get bitches with this fit.
And give me the aviator shades.
And what the fuck is going on with your hair? I'm going to masturbate to something nastier than you wouldn't dare. Yes, I would.
Like, why won't you just die? I won't die as long as Snake still lives.
That's why I forever love. He makes that speech, and all of a sudden he pulls the and just starts going into it. It's like, and here's the thing, when you watch it the first time, you really buy into the possession, and then all of a sudden, when that revealing 4 kicks in, it's like,
nah, my part.
Longest long game ever.
My part. This is my part. What's the point of all this? My land, my home was taken by United States of America. Even all the weapons on here are Russian. We will bring back the motherland. And as soon as he said that, here come your boy Ocelot. Go ahead.
I regret to inform you that I will not be a part of this. As I said before, I came to take it back. Ocelot! Like, what are you doing? Don't get me wrong, Golukovich. Mother Russia can rot for all I care. Since when did you turn? I'm glad you asked me that question. I abandoned her during the Cold War.
Ocelot, he's like, I'm taking it.
And I know the exact moment.
That tracks.
It tracks, and I know the exact moment. You want to know when it was? I'm more than happy to tell you.
Skullman got the...
No. During the Cold War. So you know when that was.
Well, I thought the Cold War was during 5. Oh.
No, 4. I mean 3.
Okay,
3.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah, technically the Cold War was still during on 5.
It was no. It went on for a long time. It went on for a long time, but hold on, I'll tell you the exact moment.
Mm-hmm.
Colonel, you're gonna nuke your fellow Russians? Remember the Alamo. Even though they are like he said, listen, they are still our countrymen. You can't nuke your fellow Russians. Well, what are you doing?
Well, we're going to nuke them, all right. We don't care.
He watched
later on.
He watched your boy Volgan nuke Russians with the Davy Crockett.
Now there was a line that.
I mean, that's the only thing he could really do after that. Is
all the motherfucking trees gone.
That's the only thing you can really do. It's like
now, a line was thrown out.
I'm so gonna betray this entire continent. I am triple crossing the fuck out of everybody.
It's gonna be so sweet.
Fuck half of Serbia. Fuck all of them. Fuck the Balkan land. The whole wall. The whole wall coming down.
David Hasselhoff gonna be there too. It's gonna be a magical.
Like this Iron Curtain is about to get
and we bringing a Pizza Hut to motherfucker. And we bringing a Pizza Hut to Turkey. This is going down, nigga.
The Iron Curtain is about to get ripped and burned.
Now, there was a line that was spoken during that whole little thing that Ocelot said, yes, I'm taking it back to the Patriots. Now, this is something that we did not know. We did not know that only certain people can say the word patriot because
Yeah.
everybody else is nano machine programmed to say la lay lu lay low.
Yeah, I think Raiden can say Patriots because he said that shit there at one point in the game. Snake said Patriots, if I remember correctly.
Snake now, no, Snake is not hooked up to that system at all. So
Yeah,
of course he wouldn't say that.
Snake said. I think Solidus said Lila Lule Low. I don't think he said Patriots per se. Did he?
No, he can say Patriots. He can
he can say it.
Yeah.
Now I noticed something. Now I did notice something that the other only person that said Patriots was the president, and I noticed something. Wait a minute, both of them were presidents. They know who the Patriots are. They can say the word Patriot. What about Ames? He didn't say Patriot once. He kept saying La Le Lule Lo.
Mm-hmm.
He knew what was going on, though.
Yeah, he knew who the Patriots are. He's just that he physically can't say La Le Lule Lo, which we did not. Now here's the thing: I did not know this was a thing until 4. Where remember, Dre was like, "Nah, I ain't no La Le Lule," and Snake was looking at him like, "Nah, nigga, you control. I'm no patriot." Like,
it's like,
I can trust you then, nigga.
No, come on. This is the same guy who can give us. He can give you a gun with no matching ID. You're free to use an unlocked weapon.
That being said, Snake, how did you not know this nigga was working for the Patriot?
I thought it was funny. You know what? I thought it was funny too because we also found out that the Solidus kind of technically wants to kill Raiden because he has nanomachines about the Patriots that can actually key on where they're at. So it's like that's also the reason why the Patriots.
A part of me thinks that's more theory. A part of me thinks that's more theory than actual truth. You know what I mean?
Well, Solidus wanted to do it like you said. He believed that there are other traces. Sure, the neural link of from GW was pretty much destroyed thanks to Otacon's sister's worm cluster. But there were other traces which was inside Raiden's nanomachines.
So from Solidus' perspective, it's like, well, if I take out Raiden, I can get the information and really take down the Patriots. And Patriots like, oh, we can't have that happening. Kill him, Solid. Kill him, Raiden.
Like, just
go ahead. Go ahead.
Each other. Just go ahead and take him out. Besides, he was a problem. We were going to have to get rid of him anyway.
Yeah, which ironically, like I said, I mentioned Fortune. You got Fat Man, who is the fucking fat mad bomber and stuff, who apparently one of the bomb specialists that Raiden gets in contact with, he has a history with Fat Man because
Peter Stillman.
Yeah, Peter Stillman, who it's kind of a speed relationship, that movie where Keanu Reeves' character has history with what's his face is the villain of that movie. They have a history and stuff, and they kind of antagonize each other. So he has history with Fat Man, and it's just ironic that he's literally a fat dude in a bomb disposal suit. That's on
rollerblades.
No, roller skates, not
rollerblades.
No, they were rollerblades.
You sure? I thought
when he shows up in the game, he was wearing rollerblades.
Well, either which way, the nigga's on a fucking roller skates, rollerblades and stuff, and it's like the most hilarious imagery ever because the whole point of that fight is bombs. Yeah, you literally shoot him with the tranq dart and to take him out, and then the last part of the fight is literally because prior to that you have to freeze all the bombs.
Which is great because Peter Stillman now the person that's working, Peter Stillman, I raised him. He learned all these tricks from me and all that. I show you how to take care of the bombs, but we got to figure out what Fat Man's doing. Now, the whole time they're spraying, they're like, ain't none of this shit make no sense, man. Like, I don't understand why you put the bombs here. None of these will blow up a certain way until Pliskin, aka Snake,
Iroquois Pliskin,
Negro. Negro Koi.
Who we find out Snake in basically.
I love this. Love how
Snake basically after the end of the tanker chapter, we thinking that he drowned underwater. What we end up finding out is he managed to sneak his way into SEAL Team 6 onto the big shell, fully alive, snuck his way onto SEAL Team 6 and disguised himself as one of the SEAL Team members, and basically teams up with Raiden unknowingly as a quote unquote a military personnel that survived an attack. And Raiden was like, hold on, you know a lot for somebody that's in the fucking SEAL team. But Raiden, being naive that he is, he's like,
but
whatever.
You want to know what's what a great bounce back to that was? Because every time certain thing, it was a recurring thing that you noticed with this whole game. Snake was like, yeah, this. You haven't been briefed on any of this? Yeah. Like, no, I only know about the $30 billion that they're holding for ransom. 30 billion.
30. What are you talking about?
The best one was Richard Ames. What about the $30 billion? 30. What are you blabbering about? What are you talking about? Like, no, what the hell are you talking about?
Don't y'all hold up? Didn't y'all love that the $30 billion was a full-on red herring?
Boy, the other one was a fat man. I don't know nothing about that. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Which is funny because
it's the $30 billion. Yada. Here's a so that's what's going on. That's a nigga that knows he's going to die that's a dude that's going to die knowing that the Patriots just jammed something right up his butt.
Because you remember Solidus when he's literally torturing Ryan, he's like, the Patriots told you that? Oh, son, let me tell you how bullshit that is.
Especially when he stops midway in the middle of his story and says, you'll understand someday.
Yeah. Another moment.
I love that line. Bro,
it was real talk. It was real talk too.
It was real talk, but the president was like, look, I'm about to die. You're gonna understand one day.
Look, I gotta be real. I gotta be real. That's some shit that a father would do. Like, you know what, son? You'll figure it out, son.
Because it really was that. Because Ryder asked the dope question. Like, so wait a minute. You tried to go against the people that were trying to control you? Yeah, I thought as a man that had so much control in his life, and it's you'll learn. You'll understand. You understand. Oh, I know who you working for. You about to get a size 8 straight up your booty hole. So you about to find out. Hopefully you live.
Like, here's the funny thing. The Patriots.
No, hold on. Hold up.
Hold up.
Yeah, with the whole thing with Fat Man and all the rest of that. Like I said, we found out with Snake. Snake snuck on, and with all of it, like I said, with all that's unfolding, the one there's plenty of red flags that's going on. Now, of course, when you first go to this game, we're all saying the same thing. Why I gotta play with this little gay looking ass nigga? We all said that. Each and every one of us said that. Why am I playing with this dude? And by the 15th flip, and when you realize you can still do half the shit of Snake, you're like, all right. But here's the thing though. The one red flag that popped up, in real talk, Raiden, I don't know what you do in this situation, but I would have quit off break. Oh yeah, we're bringing in one other person to this thing. You probably know her very well. Hello, Jack, it's me, Rose. Wait, what's my girlfriend doing a part of this shit? What? Right there.
You're part of this exercise too?
Like, Jack, I'm a part of it too, so I can be a part of yours. Now, here's the funny thing. Everybody that knows the game and knows what happened, I got to be real with you. Throughout this game, you can see Jack literally being gaslitted through the whole game, either by the Colonel or Rosemary. And they'll say little things like, Jack, you got to keep on going, or Jack, I believe in you. Jack, only you can do. It's like some really two-handed movement going on. And the Colonel keeps messing up because he keeps on saying the simulation cannot go on without you. And I didn't think about that. He turns, and I didn't think about that until like midway in the game. You know, like why he kept on saying simulation.
He turns into Max Headroom. You got to like, you know.
No, I'll tell you the worst part.
He doesn't go full Max Headroom to the very end, but yeah, you're right.
I'll tell you the creepiest part. It's when it goes into X-ray mode and you can see the Colonel's skeleton through his skin.
Oh man, my favorite was Rosemary with the white eyes. That's my favorite shit because it's always like, Jack, we know what you're doing. You just see white pupils, like
because you find out, like, because also the Patriots, while they're using Raiden, they're basically putting Raiden through the Shadow Moses simulation in a way, because Dead Cell is the Foxhound. You know,
they're the
Naomi, like
That's the one
Rose is
banger. That's they
Rose.
banger.
Yeah, Rose is his Naomi in a way and stuff, and Colonel Campbell, just all that stuff. And Snake, at the point when they after the torture, Snake is like, yeah, this is kind of like Shadow Moses in a way. Don't know if you know this.
first of all, Chris, the Dead Cell team is honestly just the non-sexy version of the Foxhound members that Snake took on.
I'm sorry, non-sexy version.
Well. Fortune and Vamp are the sexy team. Fat Man,
Hey, look, Fortune ain't. But this Romanian, by way of nigga voice, let me tell y'all something.
I love how him and Raiden have a fucking rivalry out of
They do.
Goddamn blue. And I'm like,
the Battle of the Blades. But no, I'm going somewhere with this. You have all this going on. Dead Cell, which is basically the second ringers of the Foxhound unit that Snake took on at Shadow Moses. Yeah. You got the whole Big Boss versus Snake being Jack and Solidus. You got Ocelot being there as Ocelot from Shadow Moses. You got a computer hacker that's taking down the entire system. Otacon, basically.
Yeah.
Don't forget about Ninja. Don't forget about Ninja.
And there's also a ninja who, instead of him being someone who should have been dead, it's actually a Russian female who apparently had a daughter, and the Patriots had a child. At this point in the game, we just know that Olga has a child.
Also, you mentioned Otacon. You have to say Otacon with tits.
Yeah.
We're not gonna go into.
But keep going.
I sum all that up to say, especially at the end when Ocelot reveals that this is nothing more than a completely reconstructed version of Shadow Moses, and I said, so we're doing Shadow Moses on a boat. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. I mean, look, complete with, instead of a Hind D, a fucking F-16 you got to face off again.
A Harrier. It's a
Harrier jet.
I'm about to say a Harrier this time.
I gotta be honest with you. Hey, Solidus. You're fighting your son in a Harrier, and there's a helicopter just hovering there. You didn't decide to shoot the helicopter down before you start this boss fight?
How the hell did that chopper just sit there and not get crashed?
Because Otacon got that motherfucking hands, bro. He got them skills, man. He was in the VR simulation for a minute with that shit. He knew what he was doing.
But that's just one of many sus things that happen in this game. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you one sus moment.
Sus, sir.
I know it is, but I'm gonna tell you one sus moment in particular. Now, I don't know how green Raiden was going into this mission. But if I'm coming across a guy named Iroquois Pliskin, and we're having this quick conversation, we meet up with Peter Stillman, and before we split off to go take care of of all the bombs, you say, and I quote for someone who's supposed to be a Navy SEAL, say, and I quote, "Semper Fi," before walking out of the room.
Hey, Rodden, real talk.
Wait, stop. CJ, Solidus, you were in the Air Force, correct? No, I mean Chris. Yeah. You were in the Air Force, correct?
Get his good.
Yes. You know.
And I did my time in the Army. Now, if we were to have a conversation in using in our military times, right? If I walked up to you and I end our conversation with me saying "Semper Fi," knowing damn well I'm in the Army, and I don't say "huh," you would automatically suspect think I'm sus.
Yeah, and that's me not. Yeah. I mean, the Air Force is served for self-excellence, and all we do, and Semper Fi. You're like,
it ain't that for me.
No. See, you're talking to someone who's in the army and they say Semper Fi.
Again, it ain't
That
that
is
for me.
us.
It ain't that for me. It's this little
That's a shot in
snake.
the kneecap.
No,
right there.
it's this shit. It's this shit for me. Snake gonna go hit us with a deep one. Who dares wins. That's some commie talk to me, niggas.
No, see, but it was freaking Stillman who said it.
You go.
As soon as he walked out-
What the hell is your
no, as soon
problem?
as he walked out of the room, Stillman said it himself. That man is no Navy SEAL. That is Marine Corps talk.
Yeah.
Actually, 3 Black Geeks have already actually know what it is. It's actually an Army Ranger posing as a motherfucking Navy SEAL, talking like a Marine.
Or Green Beret.
Oh yeah, we say a Green Bay Army Ranger, Green Beret. We don't know which one, but yeah, Snake is that. Snake killed people in his sleep. That's the type of person.
Yeah, I mean, just
trained to kill people in his sleep.
Yeah, I'm calling this game what it is. It's Shadow Moses on a boat.
Yeah, I mean, but that was the point of the Patriots. They were using Jack to do a Shadow Moses program, so to speak. And
I mean, even when he came into the game. See, here's the funny thing. First time playing this, I don't think we caught it, but it looked eerily. I can kind of remember the first time playing it. Like, why am I going underwater? There's already a hole there. Okay, why? This is like the first Metal Gear. What's going on here? And by like an hour into it, you totally forget that it's kind of like that. Yeah, you get little things every now and then. Like a good example, when you went into the hallway where Vamp was at, you saw all that blood that looked kind of like the ninja.
Yeah,
it's the same type of vibe. The fact that a ninja was there, showed up, and all the rest of that crap. You see little things, and the game starts fucking with you. And it's one of the things I will always give Hideo Kojima. He knows how to mess with the gamer's mind because he knows that we are going to be playing it for a certain amount of time, and our brain is going to be in a certain place. He's going to be like,
"All right, now drop that shit. Fuck the head up."
That's how I give it up. He knows how to do that to the game.
I mean, I think another thing too about this is that on the big shell, the big gameplay thing for the big shell is that there are traps. At one point, when you got to talk to George Sears and stuff. When you go across to the other section of Big Shell, the bottom of it falls out. And you don't know this because the first time you do it, if you're running, it'll fall behind you and you're fine. But if you just walk, it'll just fall off and you'll fall in the water and you die.
First time I'm going to pass that, don't. Click.
Yeah. So there's that. But then there's the other aspect of, on top of that, it's so many guards there. You have to sit there and kind of like, get through. You get a heartbeat monitor, which actually is kind of a cheat because you can find out where the guards are and then take them out and all that stuff too.
There's another. They have
a directional microphone as well.
Yeah.
The way to take out cameras and like little sentry, like little things like claymores and stuff is different now. So you can.
You have sentries that actually fly, and you need to shoot them in order to get them out of there.
First person view ciphers, first person views hitting the ciphers. Oh, and the one thing that D learned, and I had fun with it. When I learned you can slip and bust your ass in bird shit, D had fun with that for a little bit.
It is the most.
Also, when I learned you can look up in the air, a bird shit hits you in the eye. Oh.
Yep. Did you have a Kodak conversation after that?
The bird shit, no. But my favorite one is when the Russian soldiers peeing and you look up and the pee hits you. Oh, I love it because the colonel's like, I'm sorry, Raiden. It's called Wet Works for a reason.
I mean, it
feels like such a dad joke, doesn't it?
Eris, that's an AI. Of course, it'd be motherfucking dad joke. D doesn't like dad jokes. I don't like dad jokes. Why? They're juvenile. They're fucking juvenile.
Now you know what's crazy?
And they're too easy to make. They're just too easy to make.
So during Ryan's adventure, we already mentioned Fat Man. We mentioned Vamp.
When you said Ryan's adventure, I see Raiden look like Mario on Mario 3, like
And with the raccoon.
With a raccoon hat.
So here's the thing. Otakon's sister, she has just as much. She doesn't have as much issues as Otacon.
No, she got a bunch of issues. She was created by Hideo Kojima. She's full of issues.
Yeah, and they fridged the fuck out of her. I gotta be honest. Like there was like, and it's done in such a way to where it's like, all right, she clearly is. I will say this: I feel she's more adjusted than her brother is, despite her issues.
I think she's vengeful as fuck. Number one. I think number two, she was manipulated as a little girl to work for the Patriots a long time. So a lot of her fucking reasoning for this shit is really juvenile, but the Patriots got what they wanted. They got GW out of it. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I believe that the Patriots knew who she was. The second Huey married his pedophile ass wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what, you thought D forgot about that? You thought D forgot about that? Yes. Yo, this is the game.
And then Huey committed suicide.
Hold up, is this the same one that had? Is this the same one that had to get rid of his legs in the water?
Yes, this is the very same one.
Gotta drown. Get my legs.
Hold on. The very same one. The very same one, CJ. Yes. Also the very same one who locked Dr. Strangelove inside that cylinder, and she suffocated.
Yeah. That effed up part. Like I said, y'all. There are a lot of
Otacon comes from a lineage of fucked up people. Okay.
Your great granddaddy helped build the atom bomb. Your daddy. I mean, not your great granddaddy. Your grandfather helped build the atom bomb. Your daddy is just a rolling piece of shit. All right, it's like everything.
His father. Remember, his father was born on the day of the Hiroshima bomb.
Man.
Also, didn't his dad have a helping hand in that motherfucking
His grandfather was part of the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying.
And then his father was born on August the 45,
Your daddy
the day of the Hiroshima bomb, which Snake said, the day of the Hiroshima bomb. God's got a sense of humor, all right.
I mean, look,
hey, and the best part of all this, both of y'all both were children in their step parents' second marriage, and y'all had a little moment. She was like probably 5 the last time you ever fucking saw her, and she had a crush on you ever since then. Oh my god, this guy. Let me tell you something, Japanese writers. Stop. Let me tell you something. Look, brother and sister. Yeah, it gets kind of weird with some of us, but stop all of that. And you know exactly what I'm. Stop that.
And look,
stop it.
Look, D.
Oh,
your face.
That's all I gotta say.
No, D. No, D. See, sometimes in life you could be faced with a choice. You can either get a story like this, or ugly fat bastard NTR. Choice is yours and yours alone.
Well, it's
you're on an island alone, and you have to pick between the two.
I mean,
there is no going back.
Shut the fuck up.
I really like how you were trying to sit there and really think of a choice. Like both of them are fucked up. Like which one?
You know what's ironic about Raiden though? Second year in a row, a woman that he's close to dies. But I gotta be real. I said it when we did Metal Gear Solid 1, where you're really close to Sniper Wolf.
No. See, Emma dying on
rations and you fed her.
Emma dying, that makes sense. That's your sister. It sucks. Vamp, got the fucking cheap, stab on her ass. Which,
even though she felt some way about you being here at the Big Shell.
Yeah. My thing is this. My sister, her spirit is bouncing around everywhere, haunts me when I'm trying to take a shit at night. But my big sister, if I ain't seen my big sister in years and all the rest of that shit, hey, why you working with the terrorists, huh? I just like the fact that when you look at the whole little thing with Emma's whole thing was they needed somebody to, pretty much make the system for GW. And wait, this was taking down.
Yeah, they
GW.
were taking down GW.
Now, it's so funny. Like I said, Emma clearly has been working with the Patriots before, but now it's like she kind of flips side. It's weird. It's weird because she was clearly happy. She was like, yeah, see, she's like, yeah, GW still waiting for one part of the system, but not anymore since you showed up. And Ryan was like, okay, whatever that means. And then you find out, oh no, they got all the data now because your dumb ass did everything they wanted you to do. Good for you, man. but it's so funny because on Emma's side, she's seen it like a scientist, like, ooh. So it looks like the program is going to be finished now, and he's a strapping white man with blonde hair. Speaking of which, I hated her whole section, bro.
I mean, look,
I hated that whole
here's the other addition. So, in the first game, you didn't get much in the way of swimming per se, other than
I don't remember swimming at all in the first one.
No, just that's the opening of the game when you swim off,
opening.
But in this game, so you basically get a section where, and this is leading up to when you face Vamp, and then afterwards, where essentially she's stuck in a section of the big shell that was destroyed from the Harrier battle and stuff, and parts of it is underwater, and she's in a part that's not underwater, and you have to.
Oh no! That's from the bomb from early with Fat Man. That was actually the bomb.
Fat Man's bomb early. My bad. And you have to swim to her, and because you have a swim meter, and which it shows in blue, and then once you run out of that, and there's air pockets in certain sections, so you're fine. There's also kind of like depth charges underneath that you gotta avoid when you're swimming, which
who put the depth charges?
Yeah, who put the depth charges there?
Who was the one that's like, hey, man, look, this nigga might come through. Somebody might say this little bitch.
Yeah, so there's that. So you have that happening. Then it's like, okay, you save her, she swims on your back, you get there, you have to play kind of like, protecting her because you got to go through another section and stuff, and then
she's traumatized and the reason why she's traumatized is just real talk. She was swimming with her stepdaddy, and he tried to kill her because he tried to kill himself. Yeah, it's funny that he tried to kill himself. Huey Emmerich is a piece of shit, but he tries to kill himself, but that, like I said, is traumatized her, so she can't get in the water, and this whole little thing where also, she can't walk too. That's another thing about that too. It was just so much fun. I hated that whole thing.
Like she's afraid of bugs, and you have to there's parts of the big shell that has bugs, and you have to spray that, and then she goes around it and stuff.
Shout out to the roaches making it to the middle of the. I actually don't want roaches. Those are like leeches. I forgot what they call them. Sea whatever.
So you face off against Vamp, and she has to go to so. That
now hold on.
Is ridiculous.
Now you have to fight Vamp before then, and this nigga's just sitting on water and shit. Speaking of which, actually, I ain't gonna break that out until Eris gets back. But that nigga's just sitting on water, like crisscross episodes on top of the water. He's spinning on that shit and all that, and then it kills me. It's like, so you can just walk on the water, like. We're not going to even explain how you can walk on water. You just did.
So after the Harrier fight against Solidus, because Solidus during the fight he loses his eye, his eye socket gets damaged, and he has to wear an eye patch looking like Big Boss. Ha ha ha!
On the wrong eye patch.
On the wrong eye. By the way,
on the wrong eye. By the way, that should have been a sign that you was about to fucking die.
You see a part where fucking Vamp literally is running on water and shit to save Solidus.
He's like, Vamp, go! Vamp's outside the jungle. And look. I meant to say this earlier, but the reason why a lot of people literally there's a reason why a lot of blurred women like Phil Lamar, and it's because of this game and him doing Gambit. And Shout out to Phil Lamar for having an actually very sexy, deep voice for him. For a nigga that skinny, good for him having a voice that way. And it's a really booming, deep voice and shit like that. So, it's pretty fucking cool. The thing that get me, though, the thing that gets me, though, I was like, why do girls like it? Why do girls like it? Because I'm looking at the review again. Every time Portia comes out, hello, queen. Oh, shut up. Shut up, all you blurred girls. That's all right, cool. I ain't gonna fake. I ain't gonna fake. That's good. Hideo Kojima didn't know it, but he just good for y'all. That's a line that just that lives rent free in blurred girls' minds right there. Vamp saying "Hello, Queen." It's just there for them.
It's a whole tip right there.
But I like the fact that he tells you that this water is highly hydrogen water. Once you go down, there is no going up. In the fight, this nigga goes underwater, up out of water, in the.
Phil almost lied to right here. It's literally
you know what I did, Chris? When he did that, I jumped right in the water to see if I could do that. Guess what happened?
Look. All I'm saying is the Tyler the Creator gift popped in my head. So that was a fucking lie.
I know, right? That was a fucking lie. Oh man, that nigga did all that, but
he gets shot. He gets shot in the head, and then like at one point, Ryan's sister has to go to the other part of the big shell and stuff, and you have to use a sniper.
It's like a little pontoon bridge that she had to cross over and all the rest of that shit.
Gotta
so
pop
at this
diazepam.
Oh my god! So at this point again, you do get now earlier. You do get a cutscene, which Easter egg when you're trying to find Richard Ames. Mm-hmm. While you're sitting there, you got the retro microphone. You can hear Solidus and Ocelot talking. If you bring it over to the left toward the bathroom, you can hear Johnny's taking a full shit. I mean, a hard water with chunk shit. Anyway,
which is the running gag in every Metal Gear Solid game.
Period. Johnny is the reason why Cameron made that song IBS.
You ain't lying, man.
IBS is real.
So while you seeing Emma cross the pontoon bridge, she get around this one strut, and you hear, "Hey, who are you? Ah, don't shoot me! I'm not. Oh God, it's happening again. Oh God." What's wrong with you? Yeah, you like just go that way. It's like, what's your name? Like, hey, what's your name? It doesn't matter. No, I need to know what your name is. It's Johnny. Oh God, there goes my pants apron. So, and I'm like, cool. Hey Johnny, how did you survive this whole?
Johnny is what we like to call the most
joke character. Yes, joke character. But
well, they made him serious in 4, which we'll get to at some
point. They made him serious. They made him serious in 4.
And who knew? Like, who knew? The one person who didn't take nanomachines ended up being the most serious.
Yeah.
It was just hard. It was just hard for him to keep up because he wasn't running off nanomachines, thus being in sync with everybody else.
He was running off his MacBook on his hand, on his arm.
Harris. You know as well as I do, there was no genius in none of this.
There wasn't.
In fact, I dare say it probably torpedoed the whole character when you realize the real reason.
When you really think about it, Johnny's character.
Boy, that scene was good until he yelled that out. I was like, fuck this whole scene. Fuck all of this Mr. and Mrs. Smith shit.
No nanomachines, no control.
Here's the thing.
You didn't earn that line, Johnny.
Johnny is what we like to call the Forrest Gump of the Metal Gear universe. He just happens to be at the right place at the right time, and just shenanigans ensues, and he somehow is part of history.
Who knew that this Japanese family traveled from Russia all the way to America doing the same bullshit, shitting in their pants?
Your grandfather shit his pants.
Evil army.
Shagohod's running wild on the military base. Your grandfather shit his pants on the fucking base. Crazy, right?
No, of all things, he survived.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like fucking Volgan destroyed the whole base, so he lucked out. He was in the bathroom. It was protected, so
Are we really gonna believe that he's been in the bathroom the entire time?
Yes, I do believe it because guess what?
Just imagine
Look,
for errors. Just imagine that Eva over there doing motherfucking circles when the motherfucking motorcycle, all that. Giant like this. What the fuck going on out there?
Johnny, where were you? Had to take a shit, man. Sorry.
Man, you ain't gonna believe this, man. First off, I ain't never going back to Sergey's house, man. Dig one of them dogs in the house.
Nigga, that was a can of borscht that I didn't want to open. All right.
Let me stop you right
This
there.
is the Cold War. You know Russia ain't giving us no
right,
top quality Russians. You know they ain't.
I want to have y'all laughing right now. This is like months back. Picked my girl up from the airport and we went to a restaurant and we were watching this thing on TV about Russian. It was this show on Food Network about this restaurant in Russia that was basically kind of taking meals from other countries in order to enhance Russian food. And I looked at it and I was like, have you heard anybody ever say, I enjoyed this ex-Russian dish?
I ain't never heard that shit.
Thank you.
Probably because America suppressed it for like decades, but I never heard that.
But here's the thing. Nobody ever says, I want to go to Russia for the food. And here's the funny thing. Me and her were going back and forth joking about it. And this guy next to us is like, okay, excuse me. I have to laugh at this conversation because you're right. Nobody says, I want to go to Russia for the food. And I'm like, thank you. Nobody says I go to Russia for the food. Vodka, sure. Food, no.
Underage prostitutes, you betcha, but not the freaking food.
Because think about it. What food in Russia is like, yo, I gotta go to Russia for the food?
Hey man,
like,
you gotta get what?
Like I said, outside of what borscht.
Outside of
borscht
the UFC,
I'm not getting on the plane for borscht.
Nigga, real talk.
I'm not getting on a plane for borscht.
Unless it's a combat fighter, why am I even going to Russia for something?
Thank you.
Unless it's an MMA fighter, a boxer, a kickboxer that's from Russia, why are we even over here investing time?
Because you think about every country, it's like, hey, I go to Japan, they got ramen, they got sushi. All right, cool.
Look, you go to Greece, man. Oh man, their food is just so luscious and beautiful.
Germany, the fucking,
I know it sounds like porn. Yeah, I know they all sound like porn.
Bratwurst. The bratwurst,
strudels and all the rest of that shit.
Yeah, all that shit is great.
Bratwurst, not worst. The schnitzel.
The schnitzel, all that stuff.
The glizzies, the multiple glizzies that they have.
You go to UK. UK got some good food.
No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't.
Yes.
They got good French, Italian cuisine in London.
No. Here's the thing.
French and Italian.
Here's the thing.
Yes. What I just said.
No, but you say that. Here's the thing.
They got
go to UK.
But I heard they got some bomb Indian food in the UK. I heard that though.
Fish and trips in UK, great. Here's the thing.
Some of the Nigerian soul food they got out there. I heard it's good. I heard it's pretty good.
Again.
Also, shout out to all the Brits that actually know how to cook American soul food. I heard that's good out there too. So
again, I even take it to the set.
Not London made.
Anyway, no, but here's the thing. You go to Sweden, there's something there. But nobody ever says, I'm going to go to Russia to get some food.
Hey, man,
nobody ever says that shit.
Dog, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. It ain't. I know it's not their fault, but, look, Stalin did that to your country, not me, nigga.
I just had to put that out there. We've been talking about Russia multiple times in this episode. I had to put that out there because that was an eye-opening, funny conversation. I was like, fuck, nobody really says I go to Russia for food.
Now, the thing that gets me is that when I would never understand this part. When Vamp does come up behind Emma with the fucking knife to her back and all the rest of that shit. Snake is standing right there, got a good shot at him, but doesn't take it. I never understood why Snake didn't pull that damn trigger.
Yeah, that was.
Was it because he really didn't have a shot, or I never understood that shit, or
I think it's hesitation,
or the Snake was like, "I'm gonna shoot." Oh, he already stabbed that bitch. Bam! Oh, damn! Good, Raiden.
The most saddest and yet melancholy fucking death scene ever of her like, Otacon, you ain't shit.
How? Like how? Like no, this is the best thing. He's like, I feel bad for Awesome. I don't feel bad for Otacon, but I feel bad for him. Your sister gave you one fucking request. You fucking nerd. She gave you one request.
Fucking dork.
Call me Emma. Here come your corny ass. What's wrong with EE? I like it.
Everything.
Look. I like it because it went from this to.
I literally am just like, Otacon, you had one goddamn job.
That girl could have lived 4 more minutes if you said Emma.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
she was dead, nigga. That knife down now. She was dead, nigga.
I still laugh at the fact that ultimately this is the guy that finally lost his virginity to a chick that had cancer. So,
dude, he lost his virginity to her mom. Remember?
Yep, that's
what
it really
what
was.
You think she was just?
His stepmom. No, his stepmom.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah, he lost his virginity to her mama. So, even more grosser. I just thought about something. Look.
Do you know what's funny? I'm gonna
It
say
goes
now, again in my version of white people are weird. There's a movie with Sigourney Weaver and I forgot who the other actor is, where this dude is crushing on his stepmom, and I'm like, and y'all try to make this shit endearing? This is not endearing. It's not.
Hey, Chris, I'm gonna stop you. Hey, chat. I know one of y'all know that movie where that black dude was on horny for his dad. Yeah, y'all know the name of that movie.
Is this a Tubi movie, sir?
Yeah, it's a Tubi movie.
It would. It's Tubi quality. It's Tubi quality. I can tell you that.
Sir. It's Tubi. No, it's a Tubi movie called Deadly Dilf.
Deadly Dilf.
Yes, he's never heard of this.
So is that like nigga like that's fucking bitches like killing people or something?
Yeah.
I want you to understand there's not a single dark-skinned person in this movie.
Yeah, it's very light-skinned.
It's super light-skinned. Actually, there is one dark-skinned person in this movie, and thankfully that person is somewhat of an innocent. Shout out to
I am sorry to everybody.
I am sorry to everybody that looks up this name. Look up the name of this movie.
Let me finish. Shout out. I was just gonna say shout out to our boy Lucas. Your cousin is in this movie. Anyway, I wanted to ask you gentlemen a question about this, about the theme of this game. So let me see if I can find this again, because the way that it was written out was quite something. Here we are. So, gentlemen, how are we living in the life of MGS2? Because, and I say that with like with this caveat here. We're dealing with themes such as the information age, meme ticks, social engineering, political conspiracies, censorship, artificial intelligence, existentialism, postmodernism, virtual reality, and the internal struggle of freedom of thought.
Okay, if I'm going to be real for a second here, and no jokes or anything, I'm not gonna say it's easy to predict these things, but you can kind of see the trajectory of certain things in society. Like when you think about, and it's the reason why us as millennials, we kind of have it good because we're in between the Gen X and the Gen Zers, where we were there with a lot of the progression in terms of the internet, social media, and all that stuff. So for us, even though we watched movies about AI, we knew this was going to end up becoming a thing, whether it's Terminator or even that Steven Spielberg movie AI. We knew this was going to eventually become a thing in some way, shape, or form, right? Yeah. And like I said, obviously we got right now with the writer strike and actor strike, the whole thing with AI. Black Mirror had an episode about the whole thing of AI with the Netflix show about the girl and her job. It's fucking good. It's good and surreal as shit. But it's legit because even to
yeah.
what you were saying, Pliskin, about the whole thing with social engineering, our phones can hear what we're saying and it automatically, boom, keys in on that stuff on Amazon or Facebook and all that stuff. It's just everything is coming full circle. And it's like if you were very forward thinking, which is what Kojima is to his credit, like these are ideas that could become like I don't think I want to say he knew it was going to come, but it's ideas that we all in society have talked about, and it was just a case of not when it was going to happen, not how it's going to happen, but when it was going to happen, because we knew we had the possibility of it.
Put it this way. I heard it's more like people in the IT field in the 80s. They knew where computers was going to be at, and so one of the things they really pushed for, and they got their first prototype like in the late 80s, was the laptop. They was like, you can take your computer anywhere. They're like,
work from home.
The fuck is this? This doesn't make it like you can see certain things. You can have things, not so much. You can't so much predict things, but you see, like you said, where the trajectory was coming from. I think with Hideo, he kind of had an idea of all the, I guess, the secret governmental things that the United States is known for, and all the rest of that. You combine that, and you can combine where technology wanted to go to, especially in every country had it a different way of what they're saying. I think the Japanese, they were into AI before America when it came to that shit, at least where artificial intelligence can take us and all that. Mm-hmm. And by the time, I will say, when Metal Gear 2 was in development, that's when virtual reality became a different thing, where it went from us inputting shit into computers, where the computers was like, oh, I learned this, and they were starting to learn stuff. That's when we started hearing about solid state processors started being made and all the rest of it. You can predict some of the stuff that we were going to. Now, as where we are in society, I hate to be that person. I love you, Hideo. You're not the first person to do this shit. There's a whole bunch of writers in the 1960s that predicted where we were going to be at right now in society.
Well,
so people, now, hold on. I'm not taking it away from him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to take it away from him. Not at all. Because he's not, like I said, he's not the first one to do it, but there is something so fucking Nostradamically creepy when this nigga pretty much got AI down to what everybody is scared of it about. What we're scared about is that thing gaining a sentient and controlling us. Or, in a sense, what we're dealing with right now, it being so real, we think it's actually real life. You know what I mean? Now, I'll give you this though. And everybody knew about this, like so much like government spying on people. Take that fucking nugget of the government's always spying on you and make it this thing where the government wants to use that knowledge of you to control you. There's been plenty of books written that way. It's just the way Hideo did it with a combination of AI, which makes it. That's pretty good, Japanese, man. That's very good. I tell you that, man.
This game does. It's definitely considered way ahead of its time. For something that came out in 2001 and is dealing with the themes and concepts of post-truth politics, fake news, alternative
conspiracy theories.
Hold on, fake news, fake news, alternative facts, synthetic media, and echo chambers. All the shit that became relevant today.
I mean, let's be real.
One of the things that, hold on real quick, Chris. One of the things that people were scared about CNN was it turning into an echo chamber. They were scared about it being an echo chamber and being this thing where they can control people's narrative and all the rest of that shit. That's why it's hilarious to see CNN literally bump their shin on every fucking coffee table every time they try to make themselves more trustworthy. And it's like, no one trusts you no more because everything has been turned, spun, and everything else because everybody knows what's going on with that shit. Yeah.
But I mean,
there was a time, but Chris, as you know, there was a time that I don't know. I know he don't work there no more. Don Lemon could have got on the news and said, "Hey, everybody, the sky is all purple. The joy of the day," and everybody like, "Man, this purple ass sky bomb is shit," and it's still blue. Before 9/11, that could have fucking happened.
I mean, because you think about it like this, right? Like, I always tell people, like, as much as you see all this crazy shit on social media, a lot of us saw this shit on message boards.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it on message boards. We saw people talking crazy on message boards, but the problem was like nobody really took message boards seriously unless you were on the fucking terrorist list and shit, and people looked into your shit. That's the most that you were gonna get, right? So like now everybody's on Twitter, they're saying crazy shit, and because of how stupid people are in society, I'm not saying everybody, people buy into the shit. They just buy into it. Like you said, it's like when Trump made that statement.
Xbox Live was an experiment to me.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like when Trump in the 2016 election says, "Hey, I can go out on the street and shoot somebody in the head and I'm good." He was right, because we had got to that point in society where we just let a lot of shit fucking fly and didn't give a fuck. We didn't.
Yeah.
That's the nature of what this game is showing. It's everything, the conspiracy theories, all that shit. It just hit all in one hit.
Despite because there was two awakenings from a lot of people. JFK getting assassinated and 9/11. I think all of this was coming from that same thing of 9/11, that there's a shadow government and all the rest of that. What Hideo did not know was going to happen was those towers were going to fall, and the shadow government is like the towers fell. The shadow government like, oh shit, he got.
And the thing is, what we knew years later, and it was, and I laughed so hard at how much it was a no shit moment from all of us when they came out with the redacted papers that, yeah, it was government fucking lackadaisicalness is why 9/11 happened. And all of us was like, no shit. You were told this information and you just sat on it like, whatever. They ain't gonna do that shit. And it's like, yeah, they did that shit. The fuck, like. So when they told us that, yeah, the government fucked up, and I'm like, all of us was like, yeah, no shit. We knew the government fucked up. We knew the government knew this shit. They just didn't act on it because that's what the government does at times. They don't act on it because they don't. They basically they try to call the bluff of the terrorists, and the terrorists like, all right, bet, we'll do it.
All this is, like I said, a lot of this also comes from the fact that people just, like I said, just don't trust the government. They just don't trust the government, and a lot of the storylines, a lot of the ideas of what the government is doing behind our back, it's easy to give it any type of any type of fantasy bullshit, like the government is making this amount of stuff so we can control this and stuff like this. That's what I'm saying. It's so funny. I think Hideo lucked up by the world fucking up.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel like and a lot of his and I guess the shit that he loved, which is espionage and all that, deals within that world. You know what I mean? So I think by the time he looked up and he was getting people come up to him, like, hey man, we gotta change some of this fucking game. He's like, what are you talking about? You turn the TV on, you're like, oh my God.
I mean, because that's the thing too. It's this aspect of like, even at the time, we all were still trying to figure out this whole thing, and with conspiracy theories and what he was saying in the game, because a lot of us gamers at the time, we just took Metal Gear Solid 2 and just took it as is as a game, and was like, all right, whatever, it's a game. Yeah, it's this bullshit, yada yada yada, convoluted shit, yada yada yada. But then it took us playing the game like 4 or 5 times before we were like, oh shit, like.
Boy, the first one, I will never forget my first run, because I never forget. God, it was right when I got captured. It was right when you get captured by, like, when state takes you onto the Arsenal gear and all that, right? I told my boy, like, hey man, we about to go up to the park, the rest of that, right? I pause the game. I go up to the park with them. We all smoke, and I'm still high, and I'm walking over there like, yo, so let me play the game. I get on the game. And the colonel starts spitting this weird shit at me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what's going on with the game? And the game is glitching around. It's telling me, Jack, don't do this. And all of a sudden, Jack, I'm pregnant. Like, what's going on? I freaked out. And the one part that got me was this one. Jack, turn the game off. I'm like, wait a minute, you want me to turn the game off? Then here comes Rose. You're sitting too close to the television. Guess what I was doing? Sitting too close to the damn television.
I mean, even to now we obviously find out that Rose was duped by the Patriots just like Jack was.
I don't think she was. I don't think she
was.
No,
but well, okay, she wasn't, but like Rose, she was forced. But she does sit there and say, yeah, Jack, me and you did genuinely meet each other at this place over in Manhattan at one point. So that
Went to
was
the top of
legit.
the Empire State.
Yeah, by the Empire State Building. So they legitimately did meet without no interference, but everything else was kind of a manufactured kind of situation and stuff afterwards.
Shout out to Fukushima and Kojima hammering in Japanese media for something for two white people to randomly argue about. Awesome.
Like King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Okay,
Random.
so the game itself. So
what if Raiden never watched that movie? Here's the Patriots. Shit, get the Japanese women over here again. Let's try to get them all.
So the Metal Gear Solid 2 comes out, critically acclaimed, sells out. Now you're talking about PS2 era. So at this time, Xbox up to this point never had a Metal Gear Solid game. Xbox ended up getting a version of the game called Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance. Came out on the Xbox. And what it was an extra party game where you get VR missions and also a skateboarding game where Snake is on a skateboard. And it was taken off of Tony Hawk Pro Skater games?
Tony Hawk, yeah.
Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater games and stuff like that.
Yeah. That era was
That's also you're also forgetting one more thing that was added, Chris.
Boss Survival?
Not that one. The other one that just to make people happy, you get to play as Snake in it was a 5-chapter story called Snake Tales.
Yeah, basically it's like the side missions of what was Snake doing while Raiden was doing his stuff on Big Shells kind of story and stuff. So while Raiden was defusing the bombs, Snake was also dealing with a different set of bombs and he had to go to different places and stuff. He could still sneak. It was all those things. Now, if you bought the HD edition of Metal Gear Solid, you actually got that on the PS3 version of the game, and also I think the PS4 and PS5 version is using that one too. But Substance was definitely the big deal because this was technically like the DLC back in the day of the game, because I don't think Substance ever came out on PS2, did it?
Yeah, nope. It did.
No, Subsistence did. I don't know.
Subsistence was 3.
Yeah, I know. That's what I said. I know Subsistence.
Was Substance on PS2 like a Japanese only thing?
It probably was, man.
I can hold on. I'm looking that up. I'm looking it up right now.
Like I'm saying.
Okay, yeah. So it was released on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I remember it had Xbox and Windows and stuff, which was a big deal because Windows had a Metal Gear Solid game. So I think even back then people modded that game.
They did. Very,
and of course it was added with the Sons of Liberty, Snake Eater. I remember when they re-released. Yeah, the Substance and Subsistence editions were ported to the HD editions. Now, what I would like to hope is when this when the Metal Gear Master Collection Volume 1 releases this October 24th, I'm hoping that we get all fully complete versions of both games, of every single game. Like, I don't want nothing omitted. I don't want no glitches. I don't want none of the bull crap that took place with the HD editions, because when the HD editions gave us Substance and Subsistence, they were missing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I hate to be that person. I think they still want to miss it.
I don't think they are.
Part of me thinks they're going to still miss it.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, knock on wood, nigga. I just got this feeling that Konami's going to give us this, but still be Konami about it. You know what I mean? But like I said, I'm a wounded fox.
If they're really going at bat to try to give us Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater and not try to screw it up. Yeah, give them a little bit of faith, because remember, this is Volume 1, which is covering X amount of Metal Gear Solid games, and then and on top of that, the list of games for Volume 2 has already been released. Finally, escaping PS3 prison, we'll finally be able to play Metal Gear Solid 4 on modern consoles.
I just like the escaping PS3 prison. That's just
because that thing was locked behind that damn cell processor of the PS3 since 2008.
But you know what's crazy too is that, like, when I look back at all the stuff, because it's interesting with gaming now in terms of availability of materials, right? Like back then, it was interesting that like you get a game like Metal Gear Solid 2 comes out, and then a lot of the stuff, the supplementary stuff, like the documentary of Metal Gear Solid 2 was released individually. And if you were able to get it, it like, to suit, Publiskin's point. I keep saying Publiskin.
You want to respect the name, nigga. Put the nigga Coy down. God damn it.
No,
Negro
but it was interesting to be able to get those behind the scenes aspects of them. If you were really big into Metal Gear, to really sit back and actually just watch the documentary of Metal Gear Solid 2 and really listen to all the behind the scenes of what formulated into the game that you got proper, and even down to the novelizations, books. Yes, folks, there were books written about the Metal Gear Solid games. It's insane.
Of course, any good game to me gets a novelization, and I'm glad it did because it kind of actually added to George Sears, it added to Richard Ames, it added to all the, I would say, more non-combative people in Metal Gear. So it added more to their story, yeah.
And it's interesting because if you read through it, you would come to find out that around that same time that Natasha from MGS1 put out her book about what really happened to Shadow Moses, she had a relationship with Richard Ames.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean,
and you know what that means, right? You know what that means. You fucking a patriot, you didn't even know it, did you?
Exactly.
And I said this the last one. It's always fun when a girl thinks she in charge of the situation. She don't even
when she thinks she's in charge, when she thinks she's in charge, when in reality she's nothing more than an NPC.
Yeah, I mean, but I think
that's the fun part, man. That's the fun part. Lolly Lulu ain't they cold, nigga.
But I think it's kind of crazy. Like the legacy of this game, it was just kind of crazy. Like when you think about all the Metal Gear Solid games, like you think back to when Metal Gear Solid 1 came out. We talked about in that episode about how everybody was like, "Oh, it's so revolutionary." And yeah, it was definitely revolutionary for that time for what it was doing, right? But I always felt Metal Gear Solid 2 is where it was revolutionary because, like, here you have a gaming company that literally took the PS2 to its, I'm not gonna say to its limits because I think 3 is the one that really pushed the PS2 to its limits.
Ain't 3 technically a step down graphically though? I thought
three was supposed to be a PS3. Like it was supposed to debut on the PS3, but because the development took too long, Kojima got impatient and said, "Screw it! I'm gonna squeeze every ounce of juice out of the PS2 as possible," which is why the cutscenes, the graphics look good, but the cutscenes, the frame rate on the cutscenes definitely suffered.
And when you play on the PS3, when you play on the PS3, I mean, when you play on the PS3 for the HD version, you can see what it would look like fully realized if it was on the PS3. Yeah, stuff. But like I said, always give Kojima and his crew credit. They really pushed the power of the PlayStation every iteration of Metal Gear to its peak because like I said, we talked about Kojima. He really likes the theatrical aspects of his games. He was like, no, if I'm going to give you this game, you're going to get the theatrics of this game. And that's why, like, even with 2, looking back on it, all the characters, it's like, holy shit, these character models actually don't look too bad. Like, shit.
They're looking at some of the parts of the game. The one thing I do like is some of the ideas they have for it and the way they implement it into the game. I mean, down from shadowing to the way the sound, the way it sounds in the areas and all the rest of that, from movement and all the. It's just everything was so much smoother in this game, and it was really a legit step up from play. Just basically, it really told you that's PlayStation 1 shit. We on PlayStation 2 shit now, y'all. Like, I mean,
it was a brand new game for a console that had only been out for a year.
And the same thing could be said when 4 came out. Now, when 4 came out, we'll go into depth of how great that was, but there was still this huge step forward. And like you said, they took their time and they knew what at least they knew what they wanted the game to look like. And the thing about Hideo Kojima, I think everybody overpraises his stories when you need to just overpraise what he's good at, gameplay.
Next to them, you got Naughty Dog and Insomniac that really know how to take the power out of the PlayStation and stuff, because it's like, and I think that's going to really.
Naughty Dog got so much better at it when they started putting that. Yeah, I would say,
Uncharted was the one.
Drake's done that.
Was it 2 or 1?
The second one.
The second one was the one that really, when they really did it, because that was really what Sony's thing was, because everybody, real quick, when you talk about the console wars, which thinking back on this kind of stupid, but like there was always this stigma.
All of them were.
There was always this stigma of like, oh, the PlayStation 2 is weak, and I'm like, no, because you look at Metal Gear Solid 2, that shit was actually pretty fucking good. Like,
remember, like it's just like no, it goes back to what I said. It was a new Metal Gear game on a console that was only a year old at the time.
Mm-hmm. Because think about it.
Fast forward to 2004 when 3 dropped, which again, Kojima was impatient. Had he waited another year, we would have really saw what MGS3 could have looked like.
Do you think? Okay, let me real quick though, because I'm like, it's not really jumping into MB3, but like, do you think that the critical acclaim of Metal Gear Solid 3 would have hit better on the PS3 compared to 2?
I believe it would have, because not only was all the stuff that was squeezed into that was squeezed into the PS2 version at the time, there was a lot of stuff that Hideo had to cut out, just like from a design perspective to to what the PS2 could handle at that time. There were things that he wanted to do that would have fit better on the PS3, but couldn't, because he had to cut them back or scale it back in some way for the PS2 version.
I will say that you can really tell probably in 3, because he wanted to really do something where you saw the seasons change. He really kind of wanted that to be a thing, and you could tell that they cut. I want to say a bunch of stuff, but you can tell that they were taking stuff out. I believe that when you was in the cave trying to find the pain and all that, I believe that was probably a bigger. I believe that was a bigger, more. I want to say a labyrinth, but that was going to be a much bigger cave and a lot more to explore.
Another. Sorry, I know you mentioned the pain. Another great example of that would be the fear and the end. I think for the end, the end boss fight, that area of fighting him was going to be a lot bigger if it was on the PS3.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have to worry about going to different sections and it's like a cutscene. It would have been seamless, like, oh, you went to this section of the forest and that section of the forest with no like cutscene of like, oh, you're going to the western part of the forest or the eastern and all that shit.
And finding him probably would have been even more difficult.
I think it would have been harder. I like as a person that always skips that part of the game because I just don't feel like
shoot that nigga in the fucking wheelchair and keep it pressing.
Oh, nigga, that's how I am. I shoot that nigga when he's in that wheelchair.
Yes, yes, Pliskin. I know you're face palming, but goddamn it, I have no shame.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm the masochist of the group. I actually enjoy fighting him.
Nah. You know what? Hey, Chris, this is what I do. Okay, turn the PlayStation off. Take the CD out. Let's jump this by 2 months. All right, clip.
Dead.
Oh, you did. Oh.
I do all that stuff. I don't need my time on my PlayStation. Who needs that? Listen, I do all this. I do all the stuff, all the same stuff that you guys do, because I like to collect the cutscenes. When you get that demo theater, I don't want to see black squares. I want every single cutscene that I got from playing the game.
You know what I don't like about 3? Shooting them goddamn frogs. All right, let's not go into
Nobody likes that.
Nobody likes that.
Hey,
let's shoot a frog while the Shadowheart is chasing you.
Who was the maniac? Who is the maniac that gets all of them?
I do want.
You get no bitches if you get all the fucking frogs. I'm sorry. Like
I do want to point out a couple of things here. Going to towards the end of the game. Number 1, did you like seeing Olga getting her wig snapped back?
First off,
Liv, you have to
back in 2002, back in 2001, that was a serious ass scene to see a girl get the snap back with the gunshot too.
Just
That's violent. Shit is
number
violent,
2,
bro.
like, and number 2, the gauntlet. After running around the game naked for a good portion of the game, all your stuff is missing. You have to try to get through a bunch of guards and stuff without being seen, or just cartwheel them to death until you finally meet up with Snake again, and you finally get your hands on the high frequency blade.
Which, I mean, you really don't get a chance to really mess around with it until the second playthrough when you get it up front. But it's kind of one of those all of us joked about how Raiden, Raiden when he gets out of the fucking the torture chamber, he can do cartwheels butt ass naked and shit. And it's like,
now, Eris, do you remember what I told you? There are some people that love this game no matter what. I'll tell you who these people who love this game no matter what. Let's take it back to 1999. Hey man, you know what'd be cool? If you can fight as a ninja. And let's take it a year after that. I got VR missions. I get to play as a ninja, man. I hope they put the ninja in the next game. And they saw Raiden, and they was like, "Ugh, fuck this nigga." And the second they gave that motherfucker a blade, I love Raiden for the rest of my life. I love him.
It was the beginning. And it was the beginning because when Metal Gear Solid 4 comes out and he comes out a full hardcore ninja,
I gotta be honest with you, man.
He got he earned his redemption. And then just so you can enjoy the redemption even further, you play Metal Gear Rising.
That's what I'm saying. Revengeance really to me. I gotta be really
no. Look. He didn't give redemption until Revengeance because 4 raped his character so bad.
Yes, I can also add this.
They took so much away from my nigga Jack Danielson.
For all the great gameplay of Metal Gear Solid, I think the small feelings of it was like, I don't think Kojima and his team really took into account how swordplay works within the spectrum of how because shooting guns and doing punching works, right? But swordplay isn't as seamless as they compared to when Platinum got Revengeance and really like, oh, this is how this shit needs to be done.
You see,
because remember,
they wanted to play with these so bad. They wanted you to use these so bad.
Every company,
because remember, no idea how to use.
Remember, remember CJ, you actually had to use the right analog stick when you have the blade to slash, depending on what direction you were going in. You had to just flick it, just flick the analog stick.
Yeah, and it's not just this wasn't a Kojima thing. Sony was doing this weird thing where they were really trying to emphasize the fucking dual shock controls and stuff. Because especially even back during the PlayStation, if you play Ridge Racer 4, which to me is still top racing game of all time, but they were really hey, you can use the dual shock controller to do that. So it's why?
Hey, Chris, shout out to niggas like you and niggas that still love Jet Moto. I'm just saying, y'all the same people to me, so whatever.
Time out. Jet Moto is the most jankiest of racing games. I would rather play Ridge Racer 4 play Jet Moto 1 and 2.
Hey, I say y'all the same niggas. These stand by. Both of y'all niggas is look, 1999 was the shit. You can't get no better than 1999.
Look, Jet Moto 2 was peak Jet Moto. Anything after that was just cash grab at that stage.
True.
Because Jet Moto 2 was literally Jet Moto sponsored by Mountain Dew.
I don't think they had another one after the third one.
Yeah,
there was a Jet Moto 3.
There was a Jet Moto 3. I don't remember. There was a 4?
Yep, there was a 4. And that was it.
I don't remember 4.
2 was the most memorable one because that was the one with the Mountain Dew ones and shit.
Mm-hmm,
also, D, you got that backwards. See, you're supposed to say dudes like Chris that play Gran Turismo and Motor Tune Grand Prix. Because I see you looking at me that way. I need you to understand. The guys behind Paulie made Motor Tune.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah,
I thought
there would not be a Gran Turismo if it wasn't for Motor Tune.
Also, that's the same group, the Jet Moto people. That's the same. I have only one fighting game equivalent to Jet Moto, and it's going to be so unfair me saying that because a lot of people love it, and it's Bloody Roar. Bloody Roar always came off that way to me. It's a good game if you had a lot of memories on your PS1. That's how it feels like for me.
Bloody Roar is the most.
Bloody Roar 2 was the shit. Fuck that, man. The second one was a good one.
Bloody Roar is a concept that in theory is great.
It was perfected with 3.
But in execution,
3 was pretty good.
But in execution, nobody gave a fuck about Bloody Roar at the grand scheme of things.
I ain't never seen nobody. Look. You know who got on my nerves? Motherfuckers that knew how to play the game because everybody else just fucking mad.
That's like getting people excited for Bushido Blade. That's where Bloody Roar was sitting at. It was sitting right alongside Bushido Blade. Dope concept games. Nobody gave a fuck about them games.
Ain't nobody lined up for this shit.
By the way, the other thing about Raiden I was going to mention. So he was part of the Liberian Civil War as a child soldier.
Yeah, because
that war started in 1989 and ended in 1997.
1989, the number, another summer. Sound of the fucking drummer.
All right. Do y'all like the idea that Solidus had Jack out there fighting with all the other African soldiers, and he was the leader of this?
Hey, he's the White Wolf of the.
No, the White Devil. That was his nickname, White Devil.
He was the White Devil.
Jack the Ripper was the White Devil. And
you say Jack the Ripper. Yo, you say Jack the Ripper. I think LL Cool J. You can't do that shit to me. You can't
be riding like this and his b-boy stance like that or some shit, nigga.
Hold up, licking his lips and saying "Chih."
Shit.
First of all,
Rosemary, let's go.
Rosemary, let's go to the next. First of all, we are not gonna sit here and breeze past the fact that that Jack is Iquinsucha.
My young son's fantasize a barroom clothes till the shoulder.
D knows where I'm going. D knows exactly. D knows exactly where I got that reference from.
The symbol of my arm is off limits to challengers. You swing your
shut the fuck up, Chris. Can you imagine Harris? He's back in the village. 13 years old. Got a grown African woman giving him head.
Mm-hmm.
He's over there like this. I'm a soldier. And here's George. George says over there, I'm proud of you, Jack. Now, I have to go back to America and become the president. Long story.
all the other Africans that see him will whisper to each other, Iquinsucha.
Look, that's not even our language, man. I don't think we all part of the same tribe, man. I think we just
thanks to Ace Ventura and him being called the White Devil, I'm like, okay, this thing is called the White Devil on purpose instead of it being a fucking joke in the movie.
Iquinsucha. Let me guess. White Devil. Yes, you speak Machati too. Great. Now I can see Rod.
Nah, but
now
like,
I can see Rod with the hair. All right, that's it.
No one messes with the do.
No, but you know what's crazy is that when you, as I mentioned earlier at the top of the show, when we talk about the beginning of the intro to Metal Gear Solid, you see the part where Snake and Raiden are using the M4s and they're pointing the guns at the soldiers. And at the time, you thought, okay, Raiden must be the sidekick that Snake meets during the game, not realizing that's who you play. So when that part happens, and it's like, so I got to fight the soldiers with the high frequency blade, but you're sitting back like, yo, fuck this sword. Let me get the M4 and just shoot everybody. This is stupid, because it's just.
Well, at least when you have the blade, you automatically deflect bullets.
That's true, but it's just, I think it's kind of crazy how like Rising was literally going to use the fucking analog stick as the way to use the blade. And I like how Rising just changed all that completely.
Yeah, well, originally it was supposed to be God, what was it called?
I mean, Revengeance changed it. I don't know.
Yeah, like Metal Gear, because I remember it was called like Metal Gear. It wasn't called Metal Gear Rising. It was actually it wasn't called Revengeance. I remember it was called like Metal Gear Rising Lightning Bolt Action, and you used You definitely use the analog stick to literally cut everything in the game. Like everything was destructible.
Yeah, the concept was pretty much like the Metal Gear Solid 2, where it was just the indestructible environments and stuff, especially with Metal Gear Solid 4. So it's just like,
and when they gave, I guess when Hideo gave up on that project and just gave pretty much the okay to have Platinum Games do it, and thank God he did, because the
Platinum
game is
Games
so good.
Platinum Games just said, "All right, we're gonna throw some steroids on this shit, and we're gonna go nuts," and it worked out.
It worked out so good.
Sir, can we talk about Raiden versus Solidus and how Solidus' suit? It went from like, all right, it's standard, he's wearing a full bodysuit, battle suit, to I got tentacles now that shoots lasers out of it. Now I glide across with fire, across like I'm Back to the Future Part 1.
No, it shoots out not necessarily lasers, but it shoots out like freaking like what is it? Heat-seeking missiles.
Dog, how did Solidus just jet across? Did he have like shit in his shoes that just from like fucking Rocketeer over here? Like,
man can jet stream. He jet streams across the ground. Just
look.
Well, the most annoying ass boss battle ever, man. I'm sorry.
Annoying, sure, but Reebok put so many years of R&D into those shoes that I think y'all need to shut up, Chris. I need y'all to respect.
First of all, get out of my face with that Reebok shit. You know damn well that was K-Swiss. Let's keep it moving.
You wish K-Swiss. You wish the G-Man came over to K-Swiss.
Pause.
Your country needs you.
Pause, sir. They're in New York. It's called Uggs.
No, lugs, sir.
Lugs. Hardcore hip hop.
Speaking of which, I would like to imagine all the New Yorkers that just came out at like 6 a.m, seeing Arsenal gear just crash in.
Man! Hey! Whoa!
Just crashing in the Federal Hall. All of downtown is completely messed up.
My man getting a donut from the fucking bodega, and he's like, "Hey, what's going on over here?"
Man, first of all, you got Spanish dude from the Bronx coming over and sees freaking Solidus talking about, "Hey, yo, don't you ever coming over here disrespecting me, looking like a fake ass Dr. Octopus, like you heard."
White person, man, don't you ever disrespect me pulling the fucking Titanic through the middle of the street, you heard?
White person sitting up there asking why this Hispanic Bronx person is in the financial district because he's a broke boy.
Hold up. I'm sorry. This New York. Somebody like this. Hey, yo, man, I'm trying to get to work, my nigga.
I'm trying to get to work.
Fucking damn Good Morning America is reporting on. Good Morning America is reporting on. There seems to be an elderly white man fighting against a young white youth on the top of a looks like a aircraft carrier. Can't quite tell there, Susan. Hey, who's the black dude from Good Morning America? Fuck. I forgot the black dude.
I can't remember his name either. Fuck.
It's gonna rain.
No, Al Roker.
Al Roker is just looking in confusion, like this some white people shit. I don't know what to tell you, man. Al Roker really is in a confusing state of like, what do you want me to say, man?
Got the Metal Gear raised on top of Arsenal gear.
Destroyed Metal Gear Rays, by the way, because this is after all that shit. Somebody's like, looks like a lot of destroyed. It's like a giant robot. Looks about the shape of a ray. Can't quite tell there, sir.
I would imagine the same dude probably looked at the Metal Gear Rays like, "Hey, yo, don't you ever come over here disrespecting me, looking like a fake ass N209, you heard?"
Niggas got fucking damn flip Nokia phones recording
the Nokia phone.
The brick ass phones recording the fight. The one dude that got the VHS fucking damn camera recording the fight and selling his bootlegs and shit. Like, hey dog, get this fight on top of the fucking financial district. 2 for $10. Get it for your family.
Niggas got pictures of why somebody got a picture why is it when they figure out that Solid is George Sears off rip somebody already selling the rest in peace President George Sears shirts.
Yo,
Two for $10.
Bro, it's him with the swords like this.
It's him with the sword.
It's not even him in the presidential suit.
Bro.
It's him with the swords.
No, dude, it's him with the swords, and of course somebody had to be artistic enough. Paint the doves right behind him.
Can you imagine somebody in a fucking skyscraper at work is just watching the fight diagonal like 10 floors up, watching that shit?
Got a cup of coffee and everything, just watching that shit going, hey, look, man, this is a good ass fight. Hey, who y'all got? Hey, look, I got 20 on the skinny dude.
office pools just go.
I was like, man, they were like a good 500 feet away from hitting us.
Nigga, I like the fact that after Raiden fucking slices damn Solidus on the back, him and Snake are just having a casual ass conversation on the streets of New York like there ain't a big ass fucking thing.
Like there's not a giant fortress in the middle of Manhattan.
Hey, look. Hey, Jonathan said it best. It's an average day in New York.
Just an average.
It really is. It's like that shit happens every day. It's all good. It's fine. It's fine. It's just two dudes. One dude got a sword in his back. Just had a conversation in the financial district. It's fine. It's great.
Somebody sees Solid Snake. Hey, don't you ever disrespect me coming over looking like a fake ass Kurt Russell, you heard?
But we didn't see that cutscene with fucking Raiden Snake talking to some random New Yorker. Hey, yo, dog, it's a fucking damn big ass battleship over in the financial district. You gotta come up here, man. It's crazy.
No, because it's New York. And because it's New York, somebody is actually running around with a piece of not Arsenal gear, but a piece of Metal Gear Ray's weaponry. Like, hey, yo, man, I just got this shit right here, man. You trying to get it, man? Like, what you trying to do, man? $100. This shit is hot. This shit's fly as hell. They selling broken pieces of Metal Gear Ray. Freaking Arsenal gear has already been fucking robbed.
Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I just like it's like, look, when I think back to a lot of stuff in history and just how we as Black people are, like, look, coming off of they cloned Tyrone and just the way that ending of that movie was and stuff, it's just that shit just automatically clicks on how the Arsenal gear just crashing into the financial district. It's like, bro, yeah, white folks gonna lose their mind, but it's just, there's a couple of fucking Black dudes and Hispanics that are like, yo, what the fuck, man? What the hell's going on over here?
I mean, hold on. Yes, I can imagine the black market in the Metal Gear world because Metal Gear has a history of being sold on the black market.
Mm-hmm.
Case in point, Rays.
I mean, let's be real. Like,
Ocelot actually sold the plans of Metal Gear Ray on the black market.
No, but let's be real. Like, that's like, it's not just Metal Gear. There's a lot of games that touch on that. Like, as much as people, I said as much that as much as I understand people's beef with Resident Evil 6, I like the idea that the black market went nuts in Resident Evil 6 to where, like, the G virus and all that shit was used in warfare around the world, right? It makes perfect sense.
Got access.
So it makes sense that somebody has access to Metal Gear technology on the black market because that's a big money maker. I
mean, also think about this, Chris. Just because you sold the plans of a particular Metal Gear system doesn't mean that it's going to be built to perfection.
Oh no, you're going to get some jank ass fucking
shit's going to be jank as fuck. Like, they're going to get a Metal Gear Ray that doesn't even fire its weapons properly.
Yeah,
like it can't walk upright for more than 30 minutes at a time.
Look.
They turned it on the first time. The head fell off.
Look, when we get into 4, we'll see the fruits of what happens when you put shit on the black market because it's it's a lot of questionable stuff here, but like, I will say this. One of the things also gameplay wise that I enjoyed about 2 was
I'm
like
sorry. Say that last part. I heard that. I caught the end of it. What was it?
I was like, I like how like when we get into 4 and we talk about it, how you put Metal Gears on the market, how jank a lot of the fucking stuff, like the the mini Metal Gears, it's like,
Oh
like
yeah,
Oh man, they call him the gecko,
the
and
geckos.
and it was called something else. It was called something else. I forgot what they were called. But yeah, I know what you're talking about, man.
No, but dude, when you were gone, we were just talking about just the idea of just every person that's reacted to the Metal Gear, and some dude having a coffee break at the office is looking down and watching this fucking fight between Raiden and Solidus. It's like,
office
Is
pool.
that the
dude, the office
motherfucking
pool.
And you gotta think, is that the president, nigga?
Can't tell. It looks like Sean Connery. Don't know, but looks dope.
Like, man,
People selling bootlegs of the fight.
I said, man, don't you ever disrespect me? Look like coming over here, looking like an old ass nigga with hentai tentacles.
Look. I know people were very 50-50 on the Luke Cage show, but I love that fucking black kid that was like, hey, I'm selling that Avenger shit with the fucking New York stuff. HD 4K, $20. Let's go. And I'm like, that's very apt. That is very apt that they would do something like that.
That it is.
4K Solidus, the president versus some gray hair kid. Don't know his name.
Like nigga, please. First of all, this is 2009, so we're gonna say 720p. 720p. Or if they
Where we
fancy
at?
enough-
Where we?
hold
Where
on.
we? At?
No. No, sorry. Fancy if they fancy enough, 1080i.
Were we at 720p in 2001, 2002?
No. Remember, this is the story. This is 2009.
Okay.
Because Tanker takes place in 2007, and the Big Shell incident was 2009.
Yeah, because 2008, that's when like Call of Duty 4 came out. I remember I had to buy HD TV in order to get the you're right.
By the time Guns of the Patriots MGS4 comes out, it's 2014.
Yeah, and at that point, 1080p was a thing.
Yes,
for that game for sure.
Not just for I'm talking about going off of the end story.
I know that. I know that. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Because now that I'm also thinking about it as well. So get this, the ending, Jack finally meets the real Rose. He's reunited with her, and Snake and Otacon, they plan to find and rescue Olga's child, locate find the location of the Patriots, which were hidden inside the freaking virus of GW. And it's like a whole mess of things that you would think would happen in the next game, but we don't see any of that.
Well, you find out in the post credits that the the Patriots have been dead for about how many years?
Otacon went through the disc and he finds all the information about all 12 members of the Patriots, known as the Wise Men's Committee, and they were all been dead for over 100 years.
Which that's the big get, because for the whole up to that point in the game, we assumed the Patriots were this big cabal, and other than which we found out in 4, Zero still being alive because he's literally the last of the Patriots.
Remember the new Patriots, which is everybody pretty much up in 1964, that was involved with the Philosopher's Legacy. The information that Otacon got was the 12 members of the Wise Men's Committee before they were called the Patriots.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
He just went off of this thinking that this was all 12 members of the Patriots.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. It's this thing of like that was the big get, because think about it. We talk about how in Metal Gear 1, the big get was Mr. President. Like Solidus literally was pretty much kind of controlling certain aspects of Metal Gear Solid 1. And the big get with this one was, like I said, the fact that the Patriots were dead for 100 years, which when you replay the game, it's like, oh shit, AI was like controlling.
Yeah, at that point they're wondering who the hell's been controlling the Patriots, or who are really the Patriots, and if these 12 members are actually dead.
Yeah, and obviously when we get into 3, we get the origins, like Pliskin mentioned about the whole aspect of like how did we get to this point with the Patriots being who they are, and then 4 answers that and stuff. But that was kind of like the surprise twist of like, hold on, the Patriots been dead for 100 years? The fuck?
Like, so what about then you come to find out? So you mean to tell me that this wasn't just a program? I really have been talking to the Patriots when GW goes ape shit, and the Colonel starts glitching out, Rose is glitching out, the whole system is just glitching out, and that whole last half of the conversation was so weird because even Ryan was like, "Look, Colonel, I never even met you in person. Little bit, because of course, if you were to, you as a player should already know that the Colonel retired after Shadow Moses.
That's the first thing that got me. Like because remember, I think Otacon mentioned that early in the game too, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, which is why Snake was working for Snake and Otacon were working together, and it wasn't Snake and Campbell working together.
I think the more important thing was now, of course, remember what I said earlier in the podcast that they had that they programmed that thing to go I don't give a damn what that book said about me. Do you hear me? And then the later on, just for to kind of flip on you the way it did, it's just crazy as fuck. And the fact that I was so rotten. Who gave you any type of procedure of anything? Did somebody send you something? Did somebody was it somebody stopped off all right, man, so your mission is gonna be here, 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 here? Was there anybody for that shit? Who did you talk to in the whole time? Like they said, who briefed you on this? Who give you this information? It's like I said, all of it phony.
Again, Shadow Moses on a boat.
No, Shadow Moses on top of a Metal Gear.
Yeah, that's right. Because think about it. Arsenal Gear isn't just some impregnable fortress. Honestly, it needs an army of Metal Gear Rays to protect it. Because without it, it's nothing more than a giant coffin.
And a full-fledged army to run it.
Mm-hmm. Full-fledged army. Oh, you also need a huge payload of nuclear warheads. There are so many moving parts, so many essential pieces needed for Arsenal Gear to be considered a threat. Makes you wonder why nobody ever thought to make something that stupid ever again.
And also, how big is that thing? Real talk. Because to see how it looks like in Metal Gear, because the way it looks like in Metal Gear 2, because the way it looks like not Metal Gear 2, it looks like in Metal Gear 4, it looks like a straight up mountain in the middle of.
I mean, because Arsenal Gear is it's a big aircraft carrier.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what Arsenal Gear is. But of course, Arsenal Gear pretty much got seized by the feds after MGS2. What we got in MGS4, Outer Haven,
man,
that's something completely different.
Man, the towing service to get that shit out of the middle of New York City.
I can tell you right now, New York was probably the most expensive place to live in again because the taxes from cleaning up all that shit.
I mean, think about it like this. You think about it,
man, Giuliani rubbed all of his hands seeing that shit. I'm gonna be a hero forever.
Nah, but you remember the big thing about Call of Duty 3 where it picked up after 2 where you had to go to New York and it's all these fucking subs and shit on the shores of New York and stuff, and I'm like, that is a hefty fucking cleanup. All these goddamn subs and aircraft carriers that crashed in the Hudson River and shit. I'm like, god damn, hey,
look, Chris, first of all, after the tanker situation and 2 years later, Big Shell, aka BP, decides to do some cleanup as an apology. You're muted, D.
I love how the public was told that was a cleanup.
Yeah.
They hit all of that, yeah. They hold all of that, and it's kind of funny nowadays. Us saying fake news and fake this and all that is a big deal, but back then, like like I said, into the 90s and some of the 80s, that's one of those things where it's so dark of a thing. Like, oh, the government would never do that. Hey,
are you sure about that?
Yeah, sure about that?
Are you sure about that?
Hey man, don't you ever disrespect me. Come up here in that fucking dominatrix suit, nigga. Man, don't you ever disrespect me, nigga. You double parked this big ass submarine, my nigga. Man.
I mean,
hey yo, man, you still think?
Well, let me tell you something.
Hey, yo, bro, I try to get to Brooklyn. You still think that subway work?
Hey, look, let me tell you something. I think in the grand scheme of where this game ends, it was kind of interesting being on Messages of Wars back then and how there was so much supplementary material that answered the question, because apparently, like, in between this game and 4, we end up finding out Raiden had an adventure where through Snake and Otacon's help, he found Olga's daughter and, saved her and stuff from the Patriots. And, that's that, which is how when you get to 4, you're like, who the fuck is this little girl? And unless you really did read the supplementary material, you're like, how the fuck did this happen? And then, you're at loss and stuff. And it was just kind of crazy how there were people that actually wanted a side story game of Raiden, Adventures of Raiden finding Olga's daughter.
A lot of people wanted it. There was, like I said,
never got it as a game.
Yeah.
Never got it as a game, not even a DLC or nothing.
We got pictures of Raiden in that glorious Metal Gear art that D showed of Fortune, but it's Raiden with Olga's daughter in his little thing, carrier thing that has Olga's daughter. And I'm like, so nothing came of this, huh? Just that.
No, nothing.
That's it.
Nothing came of this.
Yeah, nothing.
Vamp was supposed to be a chick.
You mean like what's the old girl from G.I. Joe?
Not Baroness.
Baroness. Yeah, Baroness. I'm getting very Baroness vibes from this.
Hey, D. Think about this. This person was going to be named Chinaman.
We weren't ready, man.
So how about that eye patch from us all?
First of all, let's shout out to the United States Army for making that bodysuit to make his muscles and his legs get all big and buff. He turned into Ultra Super Saiyan Trunks.
Can we also point out that this suit, I think, was like adapted and upscaled and take it to a whole nother level when given the old man Snake and MGS4?
Yeah, it's always funny to see the progression of technology in this world too.
I don't believe the Army would ever make something this competently made, but that's just me.
My question is, why the tentacles? Why the tentacles? What do they do?
I say the military period, because there's ain't no fucking way the U.S. government will allow the military to develop some shit like this for widespread use.
I know.
No, something like this.
Hey, bro, look at this.
Hold on. Something like this would only go to a high-ranking official. They would not mass produce something like this.
This is some shit that's like Metal Gear versus Predator, and we get some shit like this.
Can you imagine? Could you imagine all the generals trying to fight for this suit? Like, I got it first. No, I put it in first.
Fucking Gorbachev is.
I mean, you get two high-frequency blades, 2 tentacles that shoot heat-seeking missiles. Oh, and let's also not forget the his F90 machine gun.
Which
the
wheel.
The P90.
One hand, like
P90.
Yeah,
sorry,
it's a P90.
P90.
It's a P90. Nigga,
Well,
nigga spun that jump.
Oh, and it also grants him the ability to give him freaking super speed. It's got a face guard built into it as well.
Meanwhile, Fat Man's over here still rocking fucking state issued fucking bomb disposable armor.
Man, take care of his fingernails, and he likes wine. Good for him. Good for him.
Man.
He a bad bitch. He a bad bitch. That's what that is.
Hey, listen. Hey, look, nigga. Laugh and grow fat. All right.
Also, Ninja. Love the updated outfit. It's great.
I actually, you know what? I'm gonna be that person.
It's the same exoskeleton suit.
I'm gonna be that person.
Maybe it's just the updated graphics that enhances it.
It's just the updated graphics.
Really is.
But it's the same suit.
So, did that make her more buff too?
Yeah, because I mean, those suits do kind of like buff you up a bit. Because you remember,
I said, it's an exoskeleton suit.
And then this is just look, Ocelot. Look, there is something to be said. I think we said it earlier. There is something funny about how Ocelot committed to the bit so much that he was just loving every scenery chewing moment ever in this game.
In this game, he didn't chew the scenery that much, but he did kind of like, did you smell that? Yes, I farted 15 minutes ago, and it's still in the air, sneak. That's the type of villainy he's on in this one. Yeah, like I said, it's so funny to see him in the next game where he's more of a rookie, but at the same time, he's a rookie, but he's faking it.
He's competent.
Faking it. No, he's faking it.
No, he's
the entire time. Like the entire time. That's why I do agree with this one person's theory that Revolver Ocelot getting the idea from Boss to get a revolver was all bullshit. Like he already had that plan. He already knew what he was doing because the way he was shooting his gun, a person experienced like Snake would tell him that he's doing it wrong. And it's like, good. I got this motherfucker to be my friend. He don't even know it. I kind of believe that. I don't believe it all the way, but he was competent. He knew everything that was going down. The second he saw Eva, oh, that's Eva. The second he saw that person, oh, that's who it is. And the second he saw that, he was like, oh, shit. John F. Kennedy. Oh, no, not John F. Kennedy. Oh, shit. Lyndon Johnson going to love every second of this shit. Like, he was a pure spy. He was a pure spy, man.
Yeah. So seeing how we've gone a whole 3 hours of discussing this game, I want to end this off with a very, very thought-provoking passage here. Mm-hmm. All right. Excuse me. In the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible. Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander, all this junk data preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate. It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution. The digital society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large. The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right. Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth, and this is the way the world ends. Not with a bang, but with a whimper. That was AI Colonel Campbell, and AI Rose.
I'm gonna have to get these motherfuckers to work for X, man. They know what they talking about.
I really want.
It's deep. It's amazingly the fears that people had of the media, of the military, and the government.
Yep.
All rolled into one. And every 5 years we get books and media telling us this, and there's a whole bunch of people going, "No!"
Wow. Like
okay.
I mean, like I said, that line right there, given by both the Colonel and Rose, was probably some of the most thought provoking shit.
Yeah, so I don't think we really depth into this. So, I'll say this: I didn't hate Raiden at the beginning.
I did.
I think it's one of those situations where, for
I
me,
wanted Snake.
it's the observation of I understood people's gripes, but I don't think it was that much of a big deal. I think it served its purpose from a narrative perspective. Um, it's funny how he became a joke of a character when he came to 3 when they did the promotion, because you know the whole thing with Raiden running away from
Hideo
and all that stuff.
Yeah, Hideo took that as a joke and said,
But then
I'm gonna make fun of everybody that bitched about Raiden.
Even to the point that we have the whole thing with Vulcan apparently having a gay relationship with,
of course,
that whole thing, which it feels fucked up in a way to even say that as a joke, because it's like, what's wrong with a gay couple?
Bro,
1964. You finished that.
1964, and on top of that, dude, his name couldn't have been more on the nose. Major Ivan Raidinovich Rykov.
Yeah. And it's like, I get it. And that's why I thought it was funny how when 4 came out, everybody went from fuck Raiden to this motherfucker badass. So I'm like, man,
the shit that get me, and I don't know if we mentioned it. That nigga goes up to the president. President, is this some sick joke? He runs over there and grab that nigga by the dick. He's like, you're a man? Then what are you? I'm like, he grabbed him by the pussy. He had hold on. He had a red tie on. He had a red tie on too. Could you imagine, y'all?
Can y'all imagine?
I want y'all to
Donald
understand.
Trump. Can y'all imagine January 6th? January 6th was Trump trying to say, let's take down the president.
I need everybody to please take note. Again, this game was ahead of its time. I would like to assume that when Trump said that, he was playing this game and said, hey, look, I'm going to take this shit as a joke. I'm going to say this shit live on the air and watch people freak the hell out. Because the ones that freak out, I know they never played this game. But then again, I'm giving Trump way too much credit.
Yeah, because he actually got the from Nancy Reagan. That's what you do. Grab it by the pussy. It makes perfect sense. I love it.
It's like, grazie. And
for the Foucault.
So that is action Trump, not Trump.
Italian ice.
Hold on, if he got it from Nancy Reagan, was that before or after she was done?
Please, man. Nancy was done John Dues by 1984, bro. Now 83. Go get
you say.
Look. Now 1983. Go ahead, try. See what you can do. She better close the chop up, bro.
Stop it. First of all, you're assuming that she had a runtime of doing that.
Well, Nancy Reagan was with.
She was classy.
Nancy Reagan was with Arnold from Different Strokes saying, "Say no to drugs."
She was, and then gulp.
Yeah, then gulp.
Arnold, really, dog, really.
Let me tell you something, people. There is something funny about us as black on Twitter, which is why a lot of us black folks are pissed off at Elon. How we somehow cultivated the idea, not from some lies, but from actual just stories and truth, that Nancy Reagan was just out here being the goblin queen,
the goat, the throat
goat, legit throat goat. And us as black folks on Twitter,
I call them neck wizards.
Yeah, neck wizards. Like, I like how we just ran with that and came up with so many stories of Nancy Reagan's exploits, and it was hilarious. And yet it feels like there's a layer of truth to these things.
From my understanding, a lot of it was proven to be true, that she was up in Hollywood. That she was up in Hollywood. Like, listen, I heard, like, it was proven to be true that she was up in Hollywood letting that throat fly. Okay.
Yeah. It's a fact.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
Y'all know that. Hold on, y'all know that meme.
I know she was with Ronnie. She was with Ronnie, but she was.
I know, like, y'all know that video, that clip of the drunk dude that that trips on the stairs holding the glass. It's a yo arriving on the set after a moment with Nancy Ray. Just that.
He's leaving the trailer. Oh God.
But yeah, I will say this. To Pliskin's point, the soundtrack is definitely worth buying. If you can get it on vinyl, that's great. If you can get it on CD, that's great too. If you can, I don't know if it's on Spotify. I don't think any of the Metal Gear stuff is on Spotify.
No, they're not. The only thing that's on Spotify is Metal Gear 5. Nothing
By
else.
the way, sirs, we mentioned Harry Gregson Williams. Now, you guys mentioned we mentioned The Rock of what Hideo was watching. We were wrong, sirs. You want to know what he was watching?
Shrek?
No.
What?
The Replacement Killers.
Ooh.
Hey.
After watching The Replacement Killers, he decided, hey, I need Harry Gregson for this.
And you know what? And we mentioned The Rock. There was one shot where you see the SEAL team going into the big shell, and they pass a bunch of cops that are looking across the river and them flying in. It's the same shot that was in The Rock. It's the same. It's not the same exact shot, but it's very similar to The Rock. So, like I said, there was a lot of references in this one too. So, whatever, man. But,
all right, so what we got next time?
Okay, so I'm going to give you the option of which we should do first as far as this. Action. I'm going to you, Eris. Action, comedy, or keep it going. And keep it going. Remember, that's sequels.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep it going.
All right, Chris. 1, 2, or 3?
Time to go with lucky number 3.
Okay, what's the great line? What's the line that I can use from that movie? That is perfect. That is perfect. That is perfect. That everybody would know the second I say it. You know what, Eris? This is more for you. A chainsaw. That takes me back.
You mean an axe? That takes me back.
Oh, axe.
Adam's Family Values. Let's freaking go.
I feel this is
one of the best lines. But what about
Debbie?
You know what makes this timely? Somebody posted in a Blurred Kind group, somebody that cosplayed as Debbie and Fester from Addams Family Values, the white suit, the fucking shitty wig, and everything. Thinking back to that movie, I was like, yo, Christopher Lloyd is a goat for putting on that shitty ass fucking wig and just doing like this the whole time.
Growing up in that house and surviving. Yeah.
Dude, the fucking meatloaf when he was like, hey, Debbie, he has the fucking burnt meatloaf.
My nigga Pugsley, eat me.
I'm a turkey. Kill me.
Wednesday. Wait, we cannot break bread with you. like that right
Stop.
there.
It was just, wait. I'm sorry. We cannot break bread with you.
It's the parents that's like, so what does your son do? Probation.
No. I'm sorry. Go ahead, D.
My son just made his team upstate. What about your son?
Probation.
No, take the stogie out your mouth proudly.
You take the stogie out and you snatch your son to the side and say probation.
No. The actual best line in the movie. Sweet chariot, come forth to carry me home.
Best.
Eris' favorite line. Eris, your favorite line. Who moved?
No. I was just about to say it. Like, who are you? What are you? Who moved the rock?
No. Last one.
Wasn't that Nathan Lane?
Yes, it was.
Nah. Last one. Fucking Gomez calling into the fucking Sally Jesse Raphael. Mr. Adams.
That
All
was from
right.
the first movie.
Mr. Adams.
I thought it was.
No, that was from the first.
Oh, that was the first one.
Okay,
That was the
my bad.
first one.
Damn, I thought it was the second one. I don't know why I thought it was the second one.
I forgot. Remember, the first one, he had no job. Well, he didn't have a
And
job.
they were forced out of their house.
But he really didn't have a job.
No, they were
forced out of the house.
They were forced out of the house. Yeah.
The second one, this nigga was really missing his little brother, his big brother.
No. Actually, no. The best one. The taste of pine. Just the look of disgust on his face, just like the taste of
boy. The fact that the fact that John Cusack had to give Christopher Lloyd head to make sure he doesn't have to see his family no more was funny. Anyway.
Hey, Joan Cusack is literally the underrated comedian. I ain't gonna lie. She actually, when you put her in a funny moment, she makes the best of. She
go for it. She go for it. She was great in Shameless for the 2 seasons she was on, getting bust out. It was awesome.
She's like, yo, look, she's white Kim Waynes. All right, nobody talks about Kim Waynes.
I can give you that. I can give you that. All right. So anyway, next week, y'all, Adam's Family Values. So this is. Oh my God! What happened to his background?
What happened to his face?
The background feel the Patriots got to you, nigga. Anyway,
Lale Lulelo, sir.
The Lale Lulelo. See, you're programmed. I'm not. Anyway,
NPC.
Stay woke.
Stay woke, y'all. Stay woke, y'all. They all looking for y'all. Anyway, see y'all.
NPCs.
We see y'all niggas next week, man. Peace, y'all.
You know what?